Absolutely.
Oh! Tom Brady's out. I want some Quinn. You ain't seen no man quite like Brady Quinn.
You fairy.
He's a football player too, a solid wall of meat. The kind of guy that I want to do, that's good enough to eat. I wonder if he'll go on a date, but there's no chance at all. So does that make me a sports queer if I want to see him grab the ball?
Absolutely.
Oh, baby, wow. Look at that kid. You ain't seen no man quite like Brady Quinn.
Oh.
Huh?
I got a high-def TV screen that helps me see his buns. I can drool all I wanna, but I ain't gonna ever get none.
Rectum.
Notre Dame's up for business school. Okay, that's not so great, but I'm gushing over him madly, at least until he's 28.
Oh my God.
Tom Brady's out. I want some Quinn. You ain't seen no man quite like Brady Quinn. Oh baby, wow. Look at that kid. You ain't seen no man quite like Brady Quinn.
Draft this. Oh!
Okay, 10:02. Oh, brother. I get home on Saturday from another nasty day at Woodbine where they separated me from my money just like a shoehorn in my wallet. And I get home from that and I turn on the TV, and of course, what's the first thing? I turn on the sports network, being the big sports fan that I am. And there's of course, they carry ESPN because they're owned by ESPN now. And there's the draft thing, and who's on the screen but Brady Quinn sitting there with his very marginal-looking blonde girlfriend. I got news for you. He could have probably picked a boyfriend that looked prettier than she did. But nevertheless, especially looking the way he does. But anyway, and they're going on. And what are we getting ready for? Miami's going to pick number 9. And I'm thinking, all right.
All right.
As if I really cared. Do you think I care?
About
this
what?
This is the thing that amazes me. I had one of our MySpace people over the weekend sent me a spy report that Mad Dog is sitting there just at that moment, the same moment I was watching, like a simultaneous spasm. And he's saying on our air, he's saying, oh, Neil Rogers is going to get all excited now. He's going to become the biggest Dolphin fan ever. Just as they're about to announce Ted Ginn.
What?
Ted Ginn? Sounds like the Mighty Quinn. Rhymes with it. He's not the kid that's got the foot injury that's going to miss the minicamp, is he? Chris?
He's going to miss this very first one, yeah.
Yeah. Got an unhealed foot injury. And what kind of a name is Cam Cameron anyway? That sounds make-believe to me. You know, it sounds like Bruce Wayne or Clark Kent. Cam Cameron. Has anybody really got a name like that?
No.
I think he made it up. And you know something? When you coach this organization, you ought to make up a phony name. That wouldn't have been a bad idea, right?
What?
Wow. So George is going to analyze the draft for us now and let us know if he's pleased or depressed.
Is it over?
I really don't care whether it's on or it's over or it's off. All I know is that before, I watched a few minutes before they made the pick, and then I watched afterward, and I thought Steve Young was going to commit suicide right there. He was going to do a Howard Beale right on the air. He was psychotic, Steve Young. I think probably because he's got the hots for Brady Quinn, but nevertheless. A lot of rumors about Steve Young. Then they married him off, you know, just like they marry these guys all off eventually, sooner or later, because it's good for business. You know what I mean?
What?
It's bad. It's bad for business when those rumors.
Yay.
Yeah, when those kind of rumors are going around. So, anyway, so that's the deal, and so we're doing a poll on that today, and I'm amazed that we don't have like 5,000 votes on that already. We got 761. We'll get 1,000 today, Chris, but not the kind of response I expect, and that's because most of our audience probably doesn't give a crap. Because we have all that we don't care about sports crowd, you know. And I noticed that even some of the dyed-in-the-wool Dolphins, lifelong Dolphins, are getting the wool pulled over their eyes. I read you that one line this morning, you know, from one of the emails. I don't want to say who it was from because I don't want to embarrass him.
I forgot already, so.
Good, that's good.
I don't think I heard you in the first place.
I won't refresh your memory. I trust them. They know what they're doing.
Oh, that.
You know what that would be like? That would be like my saying, I trust the Beasleys. They know what they're doing. Like that, yeah. Hey, listen, it's only been, 35 years, something like that, 34 years. Being a Dolphin fan is like being a Toronto Maple Leaf fan. All your glory is in the past. Glory.
Mm-hmm.
In the distant past. So you're living in the past. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if there's some old Maple Leaf game on right now.
Will touch it. 18 is the call against the Leafs as they tried to set up Walton in the clear at center.
Oh, there you go. It's the Leafs and the Red Wings from 100 years ago, back when the Leafs were winning a few games and won 4 Stanley Cups. Well, that's a zillion years ago, just like when the Dolphins won their Super Bowls. But that's okay. You people keep buying up the BS, and I'm happy for you. Oh, 770 on that poll so far, and I'm really amazed because a lot of people, they buy into whatever they tell them, and then they, oh my goodness, look how bad. See, the one thing this organization needed, and even me, the non-sports guy, said when Marino hung it up, is they needed to develop a young franchise quarterback who was going to be the star quarterback to lead them, to lead their destiny for years to come. And that's what all these other experts were saying on the panel there. Who are some of those experts on there, Chris? All those ESPN analysts? Who were they?
Well, of course, Mel Kiper was
Mel
there.
Kiper, who, of course, doesn't know my ass from his elbow. Mel Kiper, he was foaming at the mouth. And Chris Berman, I thought, was going to start throwing halava at everybody. Wow, he was pissed off. And Steve Young, and who else? There were a whole bunch of them. Well, regardless. Who?
But Mel Kiper's the same guy who said that Ryan Leaf was going to be better than Peyton Manning.
Ryan Leaf. Oh, brother. Whatever happened to her, by the way, Ryan Leaf? Turning over a new leaf?
I think he's a quarterback coach or
I think
something
he's
coach
selling
in high school.
halava in Jerusalem now. As the standoff between President Bush and Congress continues in Washington, violence in Iraq escalates as the death toll of American soldiers and civilian mounts. How about those Heat? Don't start with the anti-sports stuff now, just because Miami's fallen on hard times. They won the championship last year, and yesterday, wow, they gagged and choked there at the end of that fourth quarter. I got home in time to see that, too.
I'm sorry.
What? You're sorry what?
That you had to watch that.
How much do you think I watched of it?
About 10 seconds.
I actually wasn't watching. I was watching hockey at the time, I believe, or anything else. But I turned over every now and then to see how much they were losing by. And it was 5, and then it was 7, and then it was 9, and then it was 12. They just folded up like an accordion there at the end. By the way, does he ever make a free throw or what? Or is it just like the Wilt Chamberlain thing?
I think he just turned it off yesterday. He didn't feel like playing.
Is that what it is? Well, maybe he just wasn't in the mood, Anyway, 9 more Americans have died in Bush's failed war, says this story on Capitol Hill Blue. Now, they're throwing an opinion in there, failed war. That sounds like an editorial opinion to me, even though, of course, it's absolutely correct.
Well, just because it hasn't succeeded yet. Come on now, give it a chance.
That's right. We haven't got the job done yet, but you just wait. You hold your horses, baby. U.S. forces fired an artillery barrage in southern Baghdad yesterday morning, rocking the capital with loud explosions, while the death toll from a suicide car bomb attack in the Shiite holy city of Karbala rose to 68. They're dying like flies over there. The blast in Baghdad came a day after the U.S. military announced the deaths of 9 American troops, including 4 killed in separate roadside bombings south of Baghdad and 5 in fighting in Anbar province, a Sunni insurgent stronghold west of the capital. They're dying like flies, and the public says, hey, give me the ball, give me the ball, give me the ball. Such really amazing stuff over the weekend. I'm glad I missed it. In fact, it was well worth losing my ass at Woodbine. You think so?
What?
Before we get into the poll thing, this story that somebody faxed in. Prosecutor in Detroit says cop forced couples to have sex. A police sergeant is accused of pulling couples over with his cruiser and forcing them to engage in sex acts while he watched, threatening them with penalties if they refused. If they refused, he was going to penalize them. Detroit Sergeant Roosevelt Tidwell, 39, pleaded not guilty Thursday. He's been suspended from his job without pay. What kind of a name is that, Roosevelt Tidwell? He'd be a good athlete, wouldn't you think? Wouldn't he be? Although he's 39, too old to be in the draft, but that sounds like a real jock name, doesn't it? Roosevelt Tidwell?
It does.
A 21-year-old Detroit woman told investigators that she and a male friend were driving through Chandler Park early February 7th when a Detroit police officer pulled them over. The officer took their ID and got in the back seat of her car, then told the male friend to perform a sex act on the woman, according to court records. He threatened them with a $500 ticket if they didn't, according to court records. Kind of a pushy guy, Roosevelt. The woman said the officer also fondled her breast and forced her to fondle him. His breast, or whatever. The officer then told her to get out of the car and demanded her cell phone number. Wayne County prosecutor Kim Worthy said Tidwell later called the woman several times. The woman secretly taped at least one call and gave the tape to investigators. Tidwell confronted 2 other women and 2 men early April 14. They told investigators the officer pulled up to their vehicle in a police car, took their ID, and told them they could go to jail or perform sex acts while he watched. The women were told to perform sex acts on the 2 men, and one couple was forced to have intercourse, according to court records. The victim said that the officer shone his flashlight on them. They saw him masturbating. When a second patrol car approached, they said the officer told them to stop and be cool before waving the other patrol car away. A magistrate entered the not guilty plea to charges including 5 counts of first-degree criminal sexual conduct. Tidwell's being held in Wayne County Jail in lieu of $1 million bail. Defense attorney Fred Walker, arguing for a low bail amount, told Lockhart that Tidwell's been married 18 years and spent 22 years in the military and 12 years with the police department. Tidwell also met voluntarily with the police department's internal affairs investigator several days ago. Assistant prosecutor James Heath argued that internal affairs has received more complaints from the same park about the same time as the 2 incidents linked to Tidwell. These are not isolated incidents in the least, Heath said. This is an officer using his position of authority to clearly take advantage. Boy, that's unusual. The charges also include 2 counts of second-degree criminal sexual conduct, 4 counts of extortion, and 2 counts of misconduct in orifice. More charges are possible, the prosecutor's office be saying. Wow, like that. Pulling them over and forcing them to engage in sex acts. Disgraceful. Of course, there are a lot of people listening right now who only wish that they could be in that position, but nevertheless, I'm not sure which position. Any position. You know what I mean? You know the ones I'm talking about. We hear from them all the time. Probably hear from some of them today if we're really lucky.
MONTAYSUCKS. I'm going to fly. Since I went to Congress to testify. W made me fire those 8 jerks. Now I'm losing my job to one of my clerks. It's hard to swallow that boy. It's hard to swallow that boy. I went and deleted my email. Now my career is going to hell. It's hard to swallow that boy. It's hard to swallow that boy. I'm so screwed. I'm so screwed. Get on at the San Antonio Walmart. I'd look good in one of them blue vests.
10:17 at 560 WQM. So I'm sure everybody thinks I watched George Tenet on 60 Minutes last night. Did you watch it?
No, I did not.
I didn't either. How about you, Chris? Did you watch the George Tenet piece on 60 Minutes last night about his book?
I wasn't home when 60 Minutes was on.
Well, that's good. Neither was I. Or even if I was, I forgot about it. Maybe I was watching a hockey game or something like that. Here's the poll from Friday. Other than Florida, what's the last state you'd want to live in? Now, this was a real good contest, man. This was a race to the finish. I mean, talk about a battle to the death. 1,885 vote. Woo! Talk about heavy duty. Alabama and Mississippi, man, and Texas was in the running, but never quite made the grade. Alabama 223, Mississippi 211, Texas 183, all in the deep south. Alaska 137, New York 126, North Dakota 93, Louisiana 77. Should have done a lot better than that. Boy, what a horrible... Who put the Lou's in Louisiana? I'll tell you who did it, the people who live there. Utah 75, New Jersey 70. Boy, it stinks there, man. You ever been in Jersey?
Newark once, briefly.
Oh, wow.
Catching a plane.
California, just at the airport, then.
Yeah,
Well, that doesn't count. That would be like my saying I've been to London. I've never been to the city. I've been at Heathrow Airport. What a dump that is. Oh, man, what a dumpy place that is. And you know what the other biggest problem besides Heathrow is a dump? You know what the bad thing there is?
I give up.
Too many Brits.
I see.
California 48, Arkansas 47, Kansas 40, Georgia 36. Oh, I got to read all these states. This is going to take till midnight. Oklahoma 35, Wyoming 32, West Virginia 32, Nebraska 28, Idaho 25, South Carolina and Iowa had each 24. I like Iowa, man. In fact, I like... Where was Nebraska on this? Did I already read it? Yeah, I just read it, 28. I like Nebraska. I like Omaha just fine. Tennessee 20, Michigan 20, Massachusetts 20, New Mexico 18, Kentucky and Arizona 17 apiece. As we get lower on the list, of course, that means more people want to live there. Hawaii 16. You can't afford to live there, most of you, and I can. I'm leaving right now. I'll see you on Waikiki Beach. South Dakota, Minnesota 15 apiece. North Carolina 14, Vermont 12, Montana and Colorado 11, Virginia 10, Maine 10, Nevada 9, Indiana 8. You know, sex is a lot like ice cream. You know that?
How so?
Well, I was thinking the more that you get, the more you want.
Okay.
Indiana 8, Illinois 7, Delaware 7, Oregon and New Hampshire and Maryland 6 apiece, Connecticut 5, Washington, Rhode Island and Pennsylvania 4 apiece, Wisconsin 3, and Missouri, as they did all the way through, only had 2 votes. They came in last place, which means everybody wants to move to misery. I don't know what that's all about. I guess when you live in Florida, which most of the audience does, misery is loves company or something like that. I don't know. I don't understand it. Why would Missouri be last? In other words, be the place where... I don't get that. Can you?
I don't know.
Wisconsin I can understand because they got a lot of beer and a lot of cheese. and a lot of cheeseheads. Pennsylvania, Rhode Island? I don't know.
I don't know anything about it.
About what? Rhode Island?
Rhode Island.
I told you I was to Narragansett Park. That's the only time I've ever been to Rhode Island. I'm not a roadie. Okay, let's take a look. Maybe a toady, but not a roadie. Let's take a look at today's poll. Where is that Brady Quinn? Oh, my God, gosh almighty. Here's the poll. How pissed off are you that the Dolphins didn't draft Brady Quinn? 832 votes. Well, we should have, if we really were kicking ass like old style, you know, like we used to once upon a time. Remember those days, don't you? When we used to really be in radio?
Oh, yeah.
We'd have 2,000 votes already. I mean, this is what everybody's talking about at the water cooler, isn't it? That's why they decided to put a poll on there that was really timely, that really would get people's blood flowing. And, you know, of course, it's South Florida, and it's 90 degrees in the shade. Sunny and beautiful here, man. It looks like a great day for me to be doing the show outside. I'm going to zip right out there on downtown on Young Street. I'm going to go to the Eaton Center and do the show. And you know what I'm going to be doing at the Eaton Center?
Eaton?
That's it. I'm going to go to Bastard Robbins. Now, I did find a new flavor. I'd better not tell you this. A new Breyers flavor.
Yeah.
Like caramel crunch or something like that. And, boy, it sounded so good. And the ingredients, caramel and crispy this. And you read the ingredients on the label, it sounded like one of their... And usually Breyers is pretty damn good. They make Score, you know. And this sucked. I still ate it, though. That's the bad part. That was on Saturday, I believe. If I can get my brain unscrambled, I believe that was on Saturday. And, of course, I had a good excuse for that because I lost my ass at Woodbine and the Dolphins didn't draft Brady Quinn. So, I mean, Jesus. And I knew the Heat were going to lose 4 in a row and get their ass beat yesterday. So, I mean, talk about the depths of despair. 840 votes. How pissed off were you the Dolphins passed on Brady Quinn? And the sad part of it was, and I'm sure, Chris, no, you were out there? No, you weren't there Saturday.
I was there yesterday, not Saturday.
Were you watching on TV?
Off and on, yeah.
As the announcement came, he had the look of like, you know, he was trying to cover it up, and he was so depressed and so, oh, my God, poor Brady. I felt so sorry. I wanted to put my hand on his shoulder and say, just calm down, Pally. It'll be just, everything will be just fine, you know?
I'm sure that's all you wanted to do. Put my hand
on his shoulder. I beg your pardon?
I'm sure that's all you wanted to do.
No, it was a good start, though. You got to start somewhere. I don't care, 309. That's our anti-sports crowd. 36.7% of the Neil Rogers audience doesn't care. Or it could be other people who are actually, like me, I'm a football fan, but I don't care because Chubben and Dreard, you know, the Dolphins. Not surprised they suck 251. How do you like that? Boy, that's intemperate. And I heard so much shilling this morning. Even Kurt Schilling never saw so much shilling in his life as we had on that morning show this morning. And how the hell did we get so lucky to get O.J. McDuffie back on the air? Was that because of his .1 that he had in the afternoons across the street in midday?
Okay.
You want an explanation?
The one philosophy about this outfit we got now running QM, anybody who ever worked across the street, we're going to hire him. Even the janitor, if he worked over at the Ticket Man, we got to get him. I'll show you a thing or two, okay? We got the best damn janitor. I bet you Rick the janitor is going to be really PO'd when he shows up some morning and finds, oh, you're not the janitor anymore. I used to work at the Ticket. I got your job now, man. Well, screw you. I agree with their choice 100. 100 people are getting sold down the river again and just buying. You know, I trust them. They know what they're doing. Well, if you trust them, they know what they're doing. How come they never make the playoffs? How come they haven't won a Super Bowl even since Jesus was a baby? I just ask those things in passing as somebody who pretends to be sympathetic and pretends to care whether they win 2 or 3 games. And with a coach named Cam Cameron, how can they go wrong, right? Doesn't that sound like a comic book character?
Yes, it does.
Cam Cameron. I'm happy Brady Quinn blows 97. I have something I could say about that, but I need this job. I'm psychotic 53 and ready to blow my brains out 44. So not as, although not surprised they suck is the leading one after Don't Care. That's not too good, almost 30%. But it's kind of a mixed bag, you know. And a lot of people, and especially with the propaganda you're hearing on this radio station in the morning. You know, Kimba, for a big guy, he's so easy, you know, the way he sold out. Oh, I was pretty upset after it happened. I heard Ted Ginn. Everybody was like foaming at the mouth. In fact, I have whose column did I got in here? Oh, yeah, Greg Kotex from the Herald. He says the pick was a personal foul against the fans. How do you like that? Greg Kotex, who doesn't know my ass from your elbow, but nevertheless, he rips them an ass. A personal foul against the fans. And for once in your life, Greg, I'd have to say you're
absolutely correct, sir.
And not just because Brady Quinn is pretty, you know. And a lot of guys say, oh, well, he's overrated. He's not going to be so good. We'll see. Not that Cleveland's going to be winning those Super Bowls. Isn't that something to get picked 22nd? Chris, that must have been a real blow to his ego, you know?
Oh, of course.
22nd. Sit there, pick after pick after pick after pick, and don't hear your name. Although all the commentators on TV are like they were jumping on the ceiling and on the walls. They were so psychotic. Man, Chris Berman was foaming at the mouth. I thought he was doing a damn Gillette Foamy spot. And they don't even, do they even still make Gillette Foamy? I sure hope not.
As far as I know.
Well, what kind of guys shave with that old-fashioned kind of shaving cream?
Like
if you don't shave with
Barbasol?
gel, huh?
Like
yeah,
Barbasol?
Barbasol. There you go. And those old, what do you call those things?
The shaving brush and the custard.
That's what I was thinking of, the shaving brush and the Barbasol. And the Gillette Blue Blade would be good, too.
You bet.
Straight, to look
straight
sharp
razor.
and feel sharp.
Not that you know how to use one of those.
Razor,
yeah, of course.
Gay razor.
Gay blade.
That's it, Gay Blade. 861 votes on our world-famous poll. I just can't believe that the public is that, although it's South Florida, you know. They're used to being beaten down and all this other stuff. They're used to being beaten up and screwed over and led down the garden path. But we'll shill so hard that it'll make our brains bleed. That's how much we want those Dolphins, baby. Kids, baby. Yeah.
MONDAYSUCKS. Paris at a fancy nightclub. She leaves her overcoat there. She calls to get the jacket back. Inside Paris's pockets, something that is called a pocket rocket.
Paris, how often do you use your pocket rocket?
A lot.
Uh-huh.
I just think it's important, and it makes people feel better.
Uh-huh.
You know, it's something I've been doing for years since I was 6.
Since you were 6?
I love
Do you
it.
have any other sexual devices?
2 little kittens and 3 ferrets and 2 monkeys, too.
10:31. One thing about Paris, she's almost as attractive as Brady Quinn's pasty blonde girlfriend there that they kept showing at
Really?
the drafting. Yeah, not
brutal.
quite, almost. Anyway, here's a couple of faxes. One says, and I'm not adding these things here. It says, can you add to the poll? I'm happy, but then again, I'm a Jets fan. See, I could put, I'm happy, but then again, I'm a Patriots fan. We could put that on there for all the other teams in the league, but we're not going to do that, are we? No. Also, here's one. Can you add to the poll? I was originally furious but grew to accept it. No, we can't do that. And then it says, this is called, and this is from University Dodge. Must be from Camper's boyfriend up the street there. It says 21 other teams passed on him. There has to be a reason. Maybe because those teams didn't need a young quarterback, a franchise quarterback to build a franchise around, like the Dolphins have needed since Marino hung it up, and they've gone through a succession of really brutal, just pathetic. Of course, they're thinking about getting Trent Green, who just turned 85 in Kansas City. They're thinking maybe they might get him, but then again, they might not, you know, etc. 894 votes on that poll. I don't want to sound like some kind of an expert because not going to change my life.
What?
I think I care about it only marginally more than you do.
Wow.
All these people saying, oh, well, Neil Rogers is going to be all pissed off because he loves Brady Quinn. Yeah, so what about it? I'm not going to be down there. I'm not going to go to no stupid games. Am I going to get to meet him, to take a shower with him in the locker room? Of course not. Although I'll be honest with you, I sure look a lot lovelier than that blonde-headed... that's terrible. No, I don't. I wish I did, though. I would like to take a shower with Brady Quinn. That would be nice. But I can go to Cleveland and do that, and that's a lot closer than Miami. You know that?
What?
I never thought about that. I can just hop on a highway and go right down there through Buffalo and Depew and Fredonia and Dunkirk and get on the turnpike or whatever the hell. Huh?
I said, alrighty then.
Get right over to Cleveland. In fact, I don't want to go to Cleveland either. I was in that stadium once, although it's not the same stadium. Is it, Chris? Have they got a new stadium in Cleveland?
I believe that. Well, how long ago were you there?
Oh, 1961.
Oh, yeah, they have a new stadium.
This was old Municipal Stadium. Oh, brother, in the wintertime, and it was snowing and freezing, and everybody was passing a bottle of booze around in the bleachers because it was nasty. The NAACP held a symbolic funeral in Detroit 63 years ago for Jim Crow. Or is that for Jim Beam? The Civil Rights Organization will do the same this summer for the N-word. The Reverend Wendell Anthony said yesterday they're going to bury the N-word. Yeah, that's right. They're going to bury it. Anthony, president of the Civil Rights Organization's Detroit branch, said members and supporters of the NAACP will conduct services and a eulogy for the racial slur. The mock funeral will be held during the NAACP National Convention July 7th through 12th in Detroit, he said. What a better place to bury the N-word than in Detroit. Oh, I could tell you stories about Detroit, and none of them are really very pretty either, just like the city, not very pretty. Pretty depressing. When in doubt, burn it down. We're committed to ending hate, word and talk, Anthony said. It doesn't do anyone any good, whether it's a journalist on TV or a rapper on the radio. I'm rapping on the radio. Oh, look at that. We actually got a new... All right, let's hear it for Brian Schmutz. We finally got a piece of copy there that we've needed for like a couple of weeks, and we find it better late than ever. Brian, better late than ever. Boy, what happened to him? He got married. Isn't that what happened?
Yeah, his wife's a sweetheart, so we can't blame her.
What does that got to do with it? Well, maybe it screwed him up, you know?
Maybe.
Maybe she won't put up with all his
screwing
around on the side or stuff like that. Or maybe, I don't know.
Maybe he won't put up with hers.
Anyway, the announcement comes on this bearing the N-word, if we can get back to that, please, and forget about Brian Schmutz. The announcement comes after renewed discussion nationally about racial insensitivity brought on by Don Imus's derogatory comments about black members of the Rutgers University's women's basketball team. Nappy-headed hoes. And it says here, Imus didn't use the N-word in those comments, but he did use a different N-word, nappy, right? How about a nappy, Pappy? Okay.
Nappy-headed hoes.
But was fired in early April by CBS Radio and NBC after major companies, including GM, pulled their advertising spots like a leopard. They changed their spots. How about that spot we got for the Heat playoff tickets? Exactly. That's what I was saying when I heard it. I thought, now that corporate America is caught up, maybe something will happen, Anthony said. We have to stop investing in stuff that is killing us. Jim Crow was a systematic, mostly Southern practice of discrimination against and segregation of blacks from the end of post-Civil War Reconstruction into the middle of the 20th century. Yeah, in the mid-20th century, my ass, right. Whatever you say. Here's another fax. It says... Yeah, didn't I just get you saying that I had a spy report on this? But I'll read it again.
Oh, yeah, read it again.
Facts are happy. I'll read it again. It says, I have a spy report from the draft coverage on Saturday on QAM. Mad Dog said to the crowd, if Miami picks Brady Quinn, Neil Rogers will become the biggest Dolphin fan around. After the crowd had no reaction, Mad Dog said, man, that went over like a lead balloon. I would guess you didn't have too many fans in that crowd, it says. They didn't even know what the hell that meant, you know? Or they probably didn't even know who the hell was. See, that's one of the reasons on the sports show is, although at the ass end there, I noticed Kenny this morning was sucking up a little bit. You know, oh, Neil's probably pretty upset about that. Oh, yeah. I'm real upset about it, Kenny. I'm real upset about Brady Quinn not being on the Dolphins. Who cares, you know? Grow up, you people. Grow up. So there was no crowd reaction to that, huh? And you want to know why? Because it was a kind of a... Gay. Yeah, that's right. And when you got a bunch of jock sniffers around, the last thing you want is making some kind of a reference, in addition to which they didn't pick him anyhow. And then you talk about the sounds of silence, then everybody's jaw dropped to their ankle. You know, it's one thing when your jaw drops to your knee. Their jaws drop to their ankles.
No, actually, the crowd at the Dolphins thing booed.
Now, I know that. I was getting to that if you'd just not step on my ankles. They booed loudly, and they were pissed off and fired up, and they're all going, Brady, Brady! And Cam Cameron got up there, and they booed his ass, baby. And I don't think they were booing the choice of just that name. You know, what kind of a name is that, Cam Cameron? It's like, you know, it's like Rod Roddy. Remember him?
Who?
He was the announcer after Johnny Olsen croaked on The Price is Right, Rod Roddy. Big, fat. He used to wear those silk suits that he bought in Thailand. And the reason he used to go to Thailand, according to Joey Reynolds told me back at IOD, was that he was gay. Yeah. He was buying more than silk suits in Thailand, if you catch my drift. Follow what I'm saying?
Yes, I do.
Follow the bouncing balls? Okay. Rod Roddy, he weighed about 800 pounds, and now he's dead. So Bob Barker is going to retire and tomorrow's the 1st of May, so I guess we can almost say next month, meaning in June. Bob Barker is finally going to hang up that microphone.
Oh, gee.
He survived Johnny Olsen and Rod Roddy and whoever the new stiff they got on there. I don't know who it is. Oh, there's George Tennant on there from...
Say slam dunk to go to war.
Yeah, slam dunk this, okay? Slam dunk. Too bad the Heat didn't hear about that yesterday. Boy, they got slam dunked. Things just aren't looking too good. How are the Marlins doing, by the way? Any interest in that, Chris? Are they winning any games or what? How are the Panthers doing? They haven't lost a playoff game this season or in a long time. Because they never play in a playoff. Huh?
Exactly.
Marlins?
They lost 6-1, I believe.
Oh, no. Oh, no. What a bad weekend in South Florida sports, boys and girls. Panthers didn't get in the playoffs, so they didn't win no game. Marlins lost to the... who did they play yesterday?
Washington?
I'm
sorry, Philadelphia Phillies.
Oh, the Philadelphia Phillies.
Yeah,
they
were hitless through 6 and 2/3.
Yeah, that's right. I heard that. I seen that they got no hitter going for 6. And then, and the Heat, of course, got bushwhacked. Oh, well, they really stunk the joint out there in the last few minutes of that game. They just collapsed, like I said, like an accordion. Folded up like a freaking accordion, baby. Like accordion shutters. And I shudder to think at the hostility. In fact, when we come back, I'm going to read that Greg Kotek's column. The pick was a personal foul against the fans. A personal foul. Don't you feel foul, George?
Huh?
Don't you feel like you've been
I feel great. I
and
just had
battered
quarters
and
and bacon from Howie's,
and used and
I
led
feel
down the garden
great.
path? And that's right. Who cares? 911, by the way, 911 votes on the poll. So I guess you can rest easy. We're going to make 1,000 on this. I still say we ought to have 5,000 votes. But just like that thing about Mad Dog and that crowd, they don't know from me. They don't want nothing to do with me.
Oh, that faggot, he's got the hots for that kid from Notre Dame. Well, we don't care about that. We don't care if he looks good.
See, that's another thing. He's too pretty to play on the Dolphins. Now, Marino, he wasn't a bad-looking guy except for the lips. He had those, remember the Joker in Batman?
Mm-hmm.
Those are Danny Boy's lips. He's got very bizarre, like Joker lips, you know. But he could throw the ball a little bit. He could play a little. Danny Boy. And before he started doing those Nutrisystem spots. Boy, he's slimmed down. He weighs about 6 pounds now. They got Danny in a jar now. Danny's like in a pickle jar. You know those Vlasic pickle jars? I'm sure you do.
Oh, yeah.
Danny's hanging out in there right now until he gains a little weight back. Well, he maybe overdid a little bit. Like, what's her name? Kirstie Alley. She lost 400 pounds. She's still a cow.
Mm-hmm.
Have you seen those spots? Have you called Jenny yet? Have you called? Yeah, I'm going to call up Jenny and tell her you look like a cow, Kirstie. Oh, brother. You
fairy.
Oh, she's a Scientologist. You know, she's got an excuse. She's got issues. 19 till 11 at 560 WQM. Let's take a quick look at that lineup. Mad Dog at Broken Sound today at 2 o'clock. What does that mean? Broken Sound. What is that?
I don't know.
Chris?
No idea.
Jim Mandage at Broken Sound. Huh. Mad Dog and Humper 4 to 5 in the Power Hour, then Hank Solo 5 to 6:35. Don't let me forget we got that Derby thing coming up this weekend. I better do a little homework. Homo work. Marlins on deck at 6:35. The Marlins at the Mets 7:05. Try to win a game or two. And then a game night with Eddie K at 10:30 or right after the Marlin loss. A game.
Meridians, dumb as dirt.
Jimmy and Danny, Jimmy and Danny, Danny and Jimmy, Jimmy and Danny, Jimmy and Danny, Danny and Jimmy, Jimmy and Danny, Danny and Jimmy, Jimmy and Jimmy, Jimmy and Danny, Danny and Jimmy, Jimmy and Danny, Danny and Jimmy. We have a mobile from Miramar. Hello?
Oh, yeah, can you hear me okay? I got a question about Jimmy and Danny situation.
Oh, yeah, Jimmy and Danny. Jimmy and Jimmy and Danny. Jimmy and Danny. Danny and Jimmy. Jimmy and Danny. Jimmy and Danny. Jimmy and Danny. Danny and Jimmy. 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 Jimmy and Danny. Jimmy and Danny. Danny and Jimmy. Jimmy and Danny. Jimmy and Danny. Jimmy and
David Woodley.
Jimmy and Danny. Jimmy and Jimmy. Jimmy and Danny. Danny and Jimmy. Jimmy and Danny. Danny and Jimmy. We'll be back with more about Jimmy and Danny after this word from Ballyawam's Apartments, where every apartment comes with its own Frigidaire.
10:47, 13 before 11 at QAM. WQAM, hello. Brady Quinn line, hello.
Hello?
Yes.
Hi, is this QAM?
Yes, sir.
Very good. I'd like to get on the air and talk with Boog.
Talk with Boog?
Yeah.
What are you talking about, man?
I don't know.
Thinks they're funny, obviously.
What?
Boog?
I don't know. Who's on the air right now? Is it Boog?
Let me ask you something. When's the last time you had a good bowel movement?
I'm not sure. What is
Yeah,
it?
well, go check, because I think you're full of it. Is Boog on now? That must have been Joel Feinberg. Very funny, Joel. What time is your show on? So here's some inside information, speaking of the radio business. Oh, and don't forget, Friday is the book coming out.
Oh!
Woo! And don't worry, I trust this organization, okay? I trust them to make the right choices and the right decisions. Not. So, you know, the mysterious MySpace person with the palm tree, the Miami person, whoever that is?
Yeah.
Who doesn't have a name. He sends me this. He says, I can't verify if this is true, but it was posted online from allaccess.com. Bruce Kelly to replace Rick Shaw in Miami. Who's Bruce Kelly? I wonder if he's kin to Jim Kelly.
Never heard of him.
Or, I don't know. This marks his return to terrestrial radio as well as to Miami, where he worked at one time at Top 40 96X and also at Y100. Kelly begins May 14, it says, following a huge listener appreciation party for Shaw that will take place at Gulfstream Park on Friday, May 11th to benefit the Magic Children's Fund. So Ricky Ticky is only a couple of weeks away from retiring, according to this. Maybe he'll call in today or not. He'll never get in. How come you never gave him our bat line so we'd know it was him?
It never came up. He never asked.
Magic has a history of retaining employees for the long term. It says much of the on-air and support staff have worked at the station for 10 to 20 years, a rarity in radio. Bruce Kelly. I have no idea who that is. Did you ever hear of him?
Nope.
How about you, Chris? Ever hear of Bruce Kelly?
No.
No. But evidently somebody did. WQAM, hello.
Hey, Neil, good morning.
Yes, sir.
Did you ever watch the National Geographic Channel?
No.
Well, they...
WQAM, hello.
Left him, I nearly killed him.
5670560. This is the reaction of our audience after a weekend from hell, okay? A weekend in which people are foaming. At the water cooler, they're taking like buckets of water and splashing it all over each other's head. That's how foaming at the mouth they are. And this is the reaction, the same as it always is. Ask me if I'm surprised.
Are you surprised?
No. WQAM, hello.
Hey, who is this?
Who are you calling?
Can I speak to Bob?
Yeah, okay. Greg Kotex, this pick was a personal foul against the fans. This was bizarre, awkward, and unprecedented in a long, proud history of South Florida's flagship sports franchise. A Dolphins head coach walked into a crowded, angry room of fans on draft day and got booed for number one pick made, rather not made, just minutes earlier. The sound was visceral, spiked with catcalls. Quite a combustible cocktail this was. Nearly a decade of inability to find the next great quarterback and 5 consecutive seasons out of the playoffs, chased now by a first-round draft decision that was stunning, dumbfounding, says Greg Kotex. Dumbfounding. Dumbfounding. One fat shot a thumbs-down gesture as new coach Ken Cameron stood there amid the venting. Hey, we need to go in this direction, the coach called into a microphone with as much brightness as he could muster, bravely venturing an upward thumb as the boos and hectoring continued. You want a bright side? At least it was only a thumb aimed at Cameron. It might have been a digit more centrally located on the hand, given Miami's first-round performance in today's NFL draft and Dolph fans' reaction to it. The day had unfolded ideally. A best-case scenario as Notre Dame quarterback Brady Quinn slipped further than expected, was available to Miami at number 9. At that point, you would have expected Al Michaels to burst into the Dolphins' war room screaming, "Do you believe in miracles?" At last, the Dolphins were poised to draft their first-round quarterback since some guy named Dan Marino in 1983. Finally, a club would make an investment in the future, a young franchise quarterback. And then, Ted Ginn Jr.?
Huh?
What? That's what it says here. It says, what? And you thought the Heat's 3-0 playoff series deficit to Chicago was shocking? No, this was shocking. How about their 4-game sweep loss? This was news that made the jaw come unhinged. News that made you turn wide-eyed to whoever was near you and say something in the neighborhood of, "Are you effing kidding me?" Or it says bleeping, but I'm sure. "Are you bleeping kidding me?" Bleep. Yeah. I can't remember a bigger South Florida bombshell since Jimmy Johnson abruptly left the Hurricanes to join Jerry Jones' hostile Dallas Cowboys overthrow Tom Landry in '89. Ted Ginn Jr., an Ohio State receiver expected to be picked much later in the round, nursing a 4-month-old foot injury, still not fully healed, going to a team that already has the number 1 receiver in Chris Chambers, playing a position Miami could have easily filled in round 2, a receiver for the most desperately quarterback-needy team in the league. "I've known this family for 10 years, Cameron told the crowd. No sale, more booing. Hey, maybe Ginn's dad can play quarterback. Team owner Wayne Huizinga stood grimly off to the side as Cameron addressed the hostile constituency, arms folded across his chest. Asked earlier if Cameron and GM Randy Muller were right in choosing Ginn over Quinn, the owner had said tersely, "They better be right." Ginn himself was shocked to be selected over Quinn. For sure, he admitted on a conference call, "You know Miami's hurting for a quarterback right now, and Brady's a great quarterback." Eventually, the Cleveland Browns traded up to select Quinn at number 22, giving up a first-round pick in the 2008 draft. The Baltimore Ravens had planned and hoped to select him later in Saturday's first round. Why did Quinn fall at all? Some called him overhyped, as any Notre Dame quarterback who looks like Mr. All-American Pretty Boy is bound to be, and some question his accuracy. This kid threw 67 touchdown passes against 14 interceptions the past 2 seasons. Inaccurate? He topped 60% both those years. Draftniks rave about his poison potential, about how coming from a pro-style college offense makes him NFL ready. The admirers include quarterback experts like Steve Young.
You fairy.
Bottom line, the Dolphins had a chance to satisfy their priority and most pressing need with a first-round quarterback and opted instead for an injured receiver. You can spin that any way you want. It's an extremely odd pick at best. The necessary caveat, of course, is that none of us knows on draft day how good any player will be in a year or 3. Unfortunately, my deadline in this column was last night, not 2010, he writes. You can say Quinn might be a bust, another Rick Meyer as easily as you can say Ginn might disappoint too. It should go without saying there are no guarantees. So you start by measuring need. And quarterback clearly was a bigger one. And then you measure upside, what might be. Ginn could be another Santana Moss, a receiver, also a fast receiver, who also returns kicks. Quinn could be another Tom Brady. Which of these possibilities would you prefer? Which enticing maybe was a smarter gamble for Miami? You know the answer today, even if the Dolphins didn't on Saturday. Nobody's saying Quinn is the next Dan Marino, the thing he might be. The second-round selection of BYU quarterback John Beck only partly mitigates the error in bypassing the much greater prospect in Quinn. At some point, this franchise needs to stop relying on a continuing series of mediocre stopgaps like Jay Fiedler, Gus Farad, and now presumably old Trent Green. At some point, this franchise needs to roll the dice in the draft on a franchise quarterback on a long-term future at this most vital position. Saturday was that chance. It was fumbled. It felt like a very big mistake, one Miami might regret for a long time, writes Greg Kotex in the unctuous Miami Herald.
This is the Neil Rogers Show. This is your brain. Any questions?
Some stations give you cars, some stations give you cash, but we're going to give you a dream vacation. Imagine.
Hot beaches. Hot date. It's the vacation of your dreams.
Just be the 10th caller when you hear this sound. And we'll send a hypnotist to your house to hypnotize you into thinking you went on a really great vacation. It'll be just like being there. You'll enjoy all the sensations of being on your dream vacation, all through the amazing powers of hypnosis.
You are getting very sleepy.
We'll even do it in your own backyard so you can get a little sun while you're at it.
Remember, if you think you're really going somewhere,
you're dreaming.
This station accepts no responsibility for any after effects of hypnosis, such as believing yourself to be a chicken and clucking every time you hear a bell ring. In the event that you do end up believing you're a chicken, this station is entitled to all eggs you produce as said chicken.
Dream on.
Get it? Dream on. Keep listening for your chance to win.
It's 11 o'clock at 560 WQM. Happy Monday to you. April 30th.
About 30, man.
Holy moly, Rad, man. Do you realize tomorrow's the 1st of May? Primo de Mayo?
Okay.
What?
The cousin of May?
El Uno de Mayo?
Primero.
El Primero. Oh, I used to going to start. Here's a guy who always pretends, pica de pane, okay? No pica de pane. And because I made a little mistake in there, okay, left out one letter or two letters.
Whatever.
Screw it. 1st of May. Speak it Inglés.
What?
You heard what I said, schmuck.
Como?
966 votes on the poll. How pissed off are you the Dolphins didn't draft Brady Quinn? Don't care, 357, 37% of this audience. And the fact that Mad Dog made that comment about me getting all excited about Brady Quinn getting drafted by the Dolphins, and there was dead silence according to Chris. Didn't you say that, or did the faxer say it?
I think that would be the faxer.
Well, I'm just trying to give you credit for it.
Okay.
Dead silence, like Neil Rogers, who's that? Oh, you mean
you
that faggot that's got the hots for that Brady Quinn? Well, screw that. Anyway, don't care, 357. Not surprised they suck, meaning the Dolphins, 278. They suck, which is true, and they'll continue to. I'm happy he blows 111. Brady Quinn blows 111. I agree with their choice, 110. I'm psychotic, only 67. I'm ready to blow my brains out, only 48. I don't know. So I guess the South Florida people are brainwashed enough or stupid enough or both of the above, and they just, whatever, it's the party line and they're buying it. As opposed to the mainstream national ESPN media that was screaming and throwing crap at the cameras and banging each other over the head with baseball bats. It was something to see. It was hard to believe. And that Greg Kotex, for once in his life, he wrote something that was pretty profound. Whether you agree with it or not, pretty profound. So here somebody sends me the bio on Bruce Kelly, who is rumored to be replacing Ricky Tiki Shaw on Magic on May 14th. El 14 de Mayo. Did I get that one right?
See, perfect.
Well, good. It's about time, you damn old Jew. Kelly was rated number 1 in Richmond, Virginia, in the Y196X in Miami 100 years ago, in 85 through 99 in Phoenix. In 90, he was honored by Billboard magazine as the CHR Personality of the Year. And it also says on here, Bob in Coral Springs writes with an exclamation point, he was at Y100 Miami in 1981 and worked with Don Geronimo. Woo! With an exclamation point. That would be like saying, Chris Baker was at WIOD in 1990 and worked with Neil Rogers. Woo! Right?
Right.
I mean, what does that mean?
I don't know.
He worked with Don Geronimo. And is Don Geronimo, is he the Don? I hate to ask you, not Don Corleone. But isn't he the Don from Don and Mike?
That is the one.
Oh, no.
Don and Mike, blow.
Wow. A lot of blowing going on, man. Must be in the wind. Because on the pole, it's like Brady Quinn blows and, what's the other one? Oh, and the Dolphins blow. Everybody. A lot of blowing going on. Speaking of that, hundreds of protesters gathered at the Kendall Dade College campus where President Bush spoke Saturday afternoon. Roughly 200 protesters were clustered near temporary fences. An estimated 600 altogether spent the better part of the afternoon marching and holding signs along a main road near the college campus. Well, that's a good start, you know. Impeachment will be better, but screaming and yelling about it can't be all bad. The protesters were commemorating National Impeachment Day with a peaceful march while Miami police looked on. The president was escorted in and out of the campus to an entrance on the far side of the campus where he couldn't see the protest. Okay, of course, we don't want him to feel bad. Certainly don't want him to feel bad about all those dead people as a result of his decisions and lies. 2 pro-Bush supporters rode their bicycles in front of the protesters screaming commies, but by and large, the rally drew few administration supporters. Commies. Comunista, comunista, comunista. That's what they were screaming, right?
Right.
National Impeachment Day was organized by a large coalition of center and left-of-center groups, including A28, Democrats.com, and Progressive Democrats for America. The protesters, however, didn't focus only on the topic of impeachment, but also on reasons for impeachment, carrying signs such as out of Iraq and no blood for oil. The oily bird gets the worm. It's a South Florida kind of a thing, the oily bird, as in they. 979 in the pool. This half hour we're going to go over 1,000. Then there's no limit. Then there's no holding us back. Oh yeah, they got this big thing about the D.C. madam and all the big D.C. people on her list there, all the prostitutas and their clients.
These questions will come in time.
Oh yeah, well, so will the customers too. Oh, I got to what?
Huh?
Just move right along,
That's
okay?
Right.
I'm loaded for bear today, man. After this very traumatic sports weekend. Oh, and the damn Rangers won a game, too. Oh, in overtime, in double overtime, they beat Buffalo. Well, what can I tell you? Nothing is perfect. Less taste, more fillers, question mark. This is from the Sun Sentinel. You know how we're always talking about different kinds of foods and crap?
Mm-hmm.
The headline in this, Chocoholics in an uproar over proposed change in recipe of sweet treats. You can't mess with our chocolate, as Ray Nagin would say. It's got to be chocolate. Not an argument over light beer, it says here, but chocolate. Say it right, chocolate. Not chocolate, chocolate, you idiots. Chocoholics and high-end candy makers are riled by a proposal before the FDA to allow America's favorite treat to be made with vegetable oil instead of natural cocoa butter. Don't mess with my chocolate, said Shelley Paul, a sweets lover from Plantation Lingering Friday outside Kilwins in Fort Lauderdale. They're always saying you can't eat this, you can't do that. What's good? Leave it alone. That's right. You go, Doris, Shelley, whatever your name is. The issue has touched off a buzz among chocolate purists and others who say the proposed change could fool consumers into paying full price for artificially adulterated chocolate and that reconstituting the candy might dilute chocolate's possible health benefits. Christ, can't they leave anything alone for crying out loud? For Jesus Christ, almighty motor's sake? God, it pisses me off. They're always diddling with stuff, man. The fuss goes back to January when the trade group Grocery Manufacturers of America asked the FDA to change the definition of what can be labeled chocolate. Companies could use vegetable oil now instead of cocoa butter, which is now required to make chocolate, and also substitute milk proteins for whole milk. Well, what does that mean?
I don't know.
Is that like that fake cheese, like a cheese product? How about chocolate product? It's not real chocolate, but it's chocolate-ish. Like it's cheese-ish, Christ. Well, that's Brian Murray talking now, the spokesman. Jesus Christ, we watched the game. Yeah, they lost the game to New Jersey. I'm sure you're following those Stanley Cup playoffs very religiously, aren't you?
What?
If I have to hear Darren Pang one more time, I am going to get violent. I'm going to get a gun. I'm going to find out where he is. That was a goal. He didn't kick it in. He kicked it in, you idiot. It was pretty damn obvious to anybody who's ever watched the hockey game before. You little bald-headed geek, you moron, you figure skater, you simpleton. Between him and Pierre Maguire, man, which bald head needs to be taken out first? The proposal's got the backing, by the way, if we can get back to the chocolate story and get out of your hockey talk. Backing of the Chocolate Manufacturers of America, led by Hershey, Nestle, and others who say it'll give flexibility in making new products. Well, maybe it's not so bad at all. Although, of course, Hershey, what they make, ooh, you call that chocolate? Although I do like, what's the one we like with the toffee and nuts?
Oh, the almond toffee. I don't know
whatever
what
that
it's
is.
Yeah.
And then they've also got a Score Hershey bar. Did you know that?
Ooh, no.
Yeah, they do. See, here we go again. Why did you do this? Why did you stick this story in my pile? It's sabotage, man.
That's
it's sabotage. There are high-quality oils available which are equal to or better than cocoa butter in taste, nutrition, texture, and function, and are preferred by consumers, Hershey spokesman Kirk Seville told the Harrisburg Patriot News in the company's backyard. In the company's backyard. But some specialty... what does that mean? But some specialty candy makers in South Florida call the idea a sellout and a travesty, saying cocoa butter makes up about a fourth of chocolate, but costs more than 3 times as much as vegetable oil. Oh, it's on the cheap again, okay? This is all a question of money, said Fred Meltzer, co-owner of Hoffman's Chocolates in Green Acres, with 7 stores. If they can take something and dilute it and it's still got the taste for a fraction of the cost, that's what they want. But the taste isn't the same, he and others said. If you've ever dipped from a chocolate fountain which cascades liquefied chocolate from bowl to bowl, you've probably eaten the vegetable oil variety. The oil thins so it can now flow through the machine. You'd just be stunned at the difference in taste. They're just not comparable, said Gene Hammond, a coordinator for Kilwins, a Petoskey, Michigan chain with 7 stores in South Florida. Never heard of it, did you? Kilwins?
Nope.
Kilwins makes a chocolate compound with vegetable oil that franchises may use, but only for icing, Hammond said. Just a little bit of vegetable oil changes the mouth feel. It makes it taste waxy. Oh, waxy. Oh, fat! Hammond said. We take chocolate just very, very seriously. Chocolate-ish is not good enough. It actually says that here in the story. Chocolate-ish is not good enough. That's like guys who are like, in the closet. Butch-ish.
I see.
Macho-ish. Yeah.
How you throw those...
Said Hoffman's Meltzer, we are wholeheartedly against this proposal. It's not chocolate, for Christ's sakes. If candy with vegetable oil could be labeled as chocolate, consumers would have to read the fine print to figure out what they were getting, Meltzer said, and some would be misled, led down the garden path. But what it's made of is the key to whether chocolate's got any health benefits, nutritionists say. Several studies have suggested but not proven that chocolate may protect the heart and arteries because of flavonoids. God, no wonder I'm so healthy. Plant compounds from the cacao bean that contain antioxidants. Also, cocoa butter does not raise cholesterol as other fats do, and it has no artery-clogging trans fats. But any benefits stem from cacao, which tastes bitter, said Shia Rauerbach, a nutritionist at U of M Medical School. Dark chocolate contains at least 70% cacao and semi-sweet about 45%. Milk chocolate contains about 36%, mixed with whole milk and sugar that jack up the fat and calories, she said. Candy makers have put out new products with higher levels of cocoa, touting a health benefit. If the sugar doesn't kill you, then the other stuff will. Some of the fat in cocoa butter is unsaturated, relatively healthy for the heart, but some is saturated and riskier, she said. Chocolate made with vegetable oil would be about the same. People shouldn't really worry about the type of fatty acid they're getting, Rauerbach said. I would rather have them be concerned with how many fruits and vegetables they have. Yeah, be concerned about those fruits.
You fairy.
Amid it all, Fort Lauderdale postal employee Jill Schmader, who was buying caramel apples Friday at Kilwins, shrugged at the great chocolate debate. If I like the flavor, I don't care too much of what it's made of, Schmader said. I wonder if Schmader is related to Schmendrick and Schlemazel and Schmagegi. You think so? Could be, all from the same family. Jill Schmader. 997 votes on the poll. After the break, we'll have 1,000 in. Then it's easy. That's the point in the show at which we just kind of sit back, take a deep breath in a sigh of relief, and just relax, okay, because we got a Made in the Shade. Did we ever figure out what broken sound is? Is that like some kind of a golf thing, or what is it?
No, I have a few lines.
No, seriously.
But nothing seriously, no.
It says Jim Mandich at Broken Sound. Will somebody in the building, please tell us what that is?
Toronto Maple Leafs, and you're listening to the Hockey Authority, Neil God.
Dolphins are playing badly. From the left to the right of your radio dial screen. The last remaining member of the team is now being carried off the field in a stretcher. The other team is just walking around the field and looking for somebody to play with. Well, how about it, Jim? You want to go play with them?
Can I go home now?
It's 11:18. You sure can. Let's get some hockey going, baby.
Look for the backhand off Bergman's skate.
All these franchises living in the distant past and sucking up the public's money. That's okay. That's the way it goes. Oh, speaking of that, speaking of the public's money, so your close personal buddy Mike Mayo at the Sun Sentinel?
Yes, my chum.
had a big thing here on the Skinny on Casino action. It's all over the map. And there's another companion article by John Burstein. Not Bernstein, Burstein. You think a guy whose name is Jon, as in Jonathan, do you think he could be Jewish with a name like Burstein?
Why not?
And Michael Mayo. Hold the Mayo. What is his real name? Mayovitz? Whatever his name is.
I don't know.
Anyway, ATM's not allowed on site. You know, everything in Florida is so depressing. It's so predictable, man. There's slow, there's fast, and then there's the Florida way, half-assed. Oh, God. Oh, Broken Sound in the heart of Boca offers its members the sophistication and excitement of club living. 27 private villages are situated on 1,000 acres of pristine tropical landscape. Oh, what did I tell you about golf? At the Broken Sound Club, you may tee off at either of the Gene Bates-designed championship golf courses, socialize at the Addison Meisner style 60,000-square-foot clubhouse, serve an ace on the stadium tennis court, work out of the state-of-the-art fitness center, rejuvenate at the spa, and enjoy superb cuisine. That's Broken Sound in Boca. So I'm sure it must have something to do with golf, wouldn't you think?
Yeah.
Or maybe it's a sponsor and we siphon some money out of them. We can only
Probably both.
1,020 votes on the poll. Did I mention we got 1,000? I don't know, but we did. Now we don't have to pay any attention to it. Michael Mayo says the Skinny on Casino action is all over the map. After taking a spin around town to check out all 6 slots casinos in Broward, I still haven't cracked the secret of finding a winning machine. No worry, Mike, not to worry. Neither have I. Woodbine, I've only been going there 3 years, and I've had a few winning days. And then... he says, but I figured out a few things about how the casinos stack up. If you want to eat, go to the Newell Isle Casino, formerly Pompano Park Harness Track, in Pompano Beach. It has a gut-busting, palate-teasing, wallet-pleasing buffet that rivals Las Vegas at its gluttonous all-you-can-eat best. All right. If you want to smoke, go to any of the 3 Seminole tribal casinos because they're on sovereign tribal land. They're not subject to the Florida Clean Indoor Air Act or any other state laws. If you want to party, go to the Seminole Hard Rock in Hollywood. By day, the young, hip, and trendy hang out by the resort pool. By night, they're swarming the casino floor and the adjacent nightclub, bar, restaurant complex. If you want to be alone, go to Gulfstream Park in Hallandale Beach. If you want to be alone. The lavishly appointed place is ornate and spookily empty, sort of like Versailles. And if you want to end up in a bowling alley when you go broke, go to Mardi Gras Gaming, formerly Hollywood Greyhound Track, in Hallandale Beach. The ATM's right through there, said Diane, my helpful driver, after she shuttled me in a golf cart through the casino parking lot to the side entrance of Holiday Bowling Center on Pembroke Road. Sure enough, after I walked past a few roughnecks drinking long-neck buds, there were 3 ATM machines. Strike! Thanks to the absurd vagaries of the legislature, ATM machines are not allowed at the pari-mutuel casinos. This is the Florida effing way, baby. There's the right way, the wrong way, and the Florida effing way. Oh... ATM machines, you got to go on a shuttle and go on a little, get schlepped over to the bowling alley to get an ATM. Oh. Bottom line, says Michael Hold the Mayo, with so many restrictions imposed by the state at the pari-mutuels, no ATM machines, no progressive jackpots, no table games such as blackjack or roulette, limited hours, nobody's going to confuse Broward's casino scene with the Vegas Strip, or even with Woodbine, I might add. But things have changed rapidly in the past 6 months with competition between the tracks and tribe building. There are now about 7,850 machines clanging and spinning at these 6 casinos. 7,850 machines, man. The pari-mutuels have Class 3 Vegas-style slots, and the Seminoles are stuck with Class 2 video lottery machines. Players play against the house on Class 3 machines and against other players in a common pool on Class 2 machines. Despite the machine disadvantage, the Indian casinos are still holding their own. The pari-mutuel casinos can only run 16 hours a day. The Seminole casinos, like Woodbine, never close. I'm going there right now and get all my money back. You believe me?
No.
No. The pari-mutuels are taxed 50% on their profits. The Seminoles don't have to pay a dime to the state, leaving them well armed for an advertising and marketing war against the pari-mutuels. Notes from one player's scorecard with ratings for each casino on a scale of 1 to 5 cherries. Okay, you ready for this? Here's Michael Mayo rating the joints.
Okay.
Isle Casino, Pompano Beach. It feels like Vegas in here from the high ceilings and stylish design touches. Lighted cobalt blue columns rise majestically around the casino floor to the lavish Isle Buffet, a multi-station eating extravaganza. I'm not a gambler. I come here to eat, said Terry Trott of Hallandale Beach. Well, I wonder if you eat there if you get to Trott's. Just a joke now. Don't get all bent out of shape. Her friend, Joe Oliveri, 67, also from Hallandale Beach, comes for the slots. I've been to them all. Vegas, Atlantic City. He said this looks like a really high-class place. They've done it right. Rating for Pompano, 4 cherries. Seminole Hard Rock Hotel and Casino. Hot, hip, and now has some trashy South Florida lore to its credit. Anna Nicole Smith collapsed and died in room 607 in February. This is the place where locals feel compelled to bring out-of-town visitors for a night. You don't know what the slots payout is, but nobody here seems to care. There's life here. You actually hear whooping and hollering on the casino floor, strangely absent at the other spots. The main drawback is it gets too crowded, especially on the weekends, and the restaurants and bars are pricey. I stopped by at 1 a.m. Thursday and saw a few drunken kids fighting. Come on a Friday or Saturday, and it takes forever to get a seat at the poker table, said Leon Lastinger of Aventura. You sign up, wait 45 minutes, they give you a beeper, and you have to wait another 45 minutes. Rating 4 cherries. Mardi Gras Gaming. During the day, seniors dominate. At night, there's a working-class vibe with a T-shirt crowd on the second floor, rooting home dogs, and a diverse crowd playing slots on the first floor. This is the place for me, said Carolyn Smith of Hollywood, who said she comes almost every night. Gulfstream is for the rich man. This place is for everybody. Because the slots are put into the existing building, there's a cramped, dank feeling. The ceilings are low, and funky odors waft through. Oh, that sounds like Woodbine. The buffet has steam tables thrown in the middle of the floor. I had a $5 bowl of seafood gumbo at a snack bar, a greasy batch of brown roux, mushy vegetables, and bits of tasteless chicken and gelatinous seafood, he says. Rating only 2.5 cherries. Uh-oh. And it goes down from there. Seminole Coconut Creek Casino. With competition from the casino, the Seminoles are giving this place a facelift. There's a decent buffet, and the poker room has gone smoke-free. But you'll still need your gas mask if you're a non-smoker. The air is thick with stale tobacco. I like to smoke when I play, said Marlene Joseph of Lauderhill, a Winston burning in an ashtray next to her machine. You can't do that everywhere. Rating for the Seminole Coconut Creek Casino, 2 cherries. Seminole Hollywood Casino. This is the place where Florida's gambling revolution began, with the Seminoles winning the right to open a bingo hall here in '79. Even though the upscale Hard Rock is just across the street, this place still draws a devoted crowd of locals. It's down market, but has a certain down-home, well-worn feel, also heavy on the smoke, rating a mere 1.5 cherries. And last, is it? Yes, last and least. Oh, they get 2 cherries at Gulfstream. They're dying over here, it says.
I'm dying over here.
I wonder where Mike Holdemeo got that line, huh? He says, they're dying over here. It's a beautiful new building that's been betrayed by poor planning, inconvenient layout, and constant changes. At the height of a Thursday night, the slots rooms were nearly empty, and employees almost outnumbered customers in Gulfstream's Three Kings Sports Lounge. They're going for the high rollers, but nobody was playing the $100 machines or buying $8 mozzarella sticks from the snack bar. Harold Woods of Pembroke Pines dropped by with some friends to play poker, but there was no poker. The rules are confusing, with pure mutuals allowed to have poker only on certain days. The tribal casinos have poker 24/7 with higher tournament stakes. The legislature might loosen those restrictions on ATMs, poker rooms, and casino operating hours next week. It makes no sense, said Woods. The state gives the pure mutuals a little bit, and then they tie their hands. If you're going to have gambling, have gambling. Don't treat us like children, he says, rating for Gulfstream, 2 cherries. They're dying over here.
I'm dying over here.
How do you like that? Blatant rip-off, you know? He's doing like a... How's the old Paul and Ancient Ron on out there 18 hours a day? How are they doing? They still alive?
I don't know.
We got 1,032 votes. I think we're still doing it, man. We're still pushing it, you know? We're pushing it ancient style. 11:26. Oh, there's the pissed-off caveman.
Well, it's just a commercial.
Okay.
Well, what if it said Geico.com, so easy, a therapist can do it?
Then she'd be upset. I don't know about you, but I'm just, like I said, I'm a little tired of the pissed-off caveman.
Yeah.
I liked him just fine on that moving walkway there in the airport, folding the arms with that exasperated look, like, yeah.
And stay focused on...
Oh, God, Neil.
Singing is the lowest form of communication.
You actually sing like a train going off the rails.
It's embarrassing.
They've been singing out of tune and they suck, torturing ears on the stages.
We have found the worst singer in the world.
Every night, every song gets lamer and more outraged.
I don't mean to be unkind, but you have one of the worst singing voices.
Now they're singing tunes from Nashville and all the viewers are ready to start crying.
He's terrible.
It just was terrible, dude.
My gosh, American Idol is hell. Now you know it's dying.
I think I'll sing something a little more upbeat.
So we back our ears and try to withstand American Idol in a two-step dance. They've gone country.
Whatever.
Making me puke. They've gone country.
That sucks.
It's Anti of the Booth. They've gone country.
Well, it sucks.
Miss Underwood's boobs. It's Idol country.
This sucks hard.
The shark has jumped.
What kind of music do you usually
you have here? Oh, we got both kinds. We got country and western.
We got one finger in each nostril, too. 11:32 at 560 WQM. Mad Dog at Broken Sound at 2 this afternoon in Boca. And look at that phone, man. Dead as a doornail. Now,
yeah.
I've told you many a time, nothing shocks me, having worked 800 years in this market.
Okay.
But of all the days when you think that these people, even though this is a non-sport show, everybody, I mean everybody except George,
right,
is talking about one thing. Today.
Yeah. I'm not going to say it. Yeah, I do, but I don't say the words.
But isn't that what they're all talking about?
I don't know.
Not this crowd.
I don't hear it. I really don't hear it.
WQAM, hello.
Brady who?
567-0560. Pound 560. I might just go through my pile and just forget about the phone. I thought we'd get a lot of feedback today.
We could arrange that.
What do you mean by that?
Feedback?
Oh, yeah. Like this?
There you go.
Yeah, we could both do the feedback thing. Very, very, just amazing to me, man. These people, and you want to know why? Because they're going to be led by the nose, just like on that show this morning. And there they are going, oh, yeah, well, you know, at first I was a little bit upset, but blah, blah, blah. And then I realized they got some other quarterback, and they got somebody nobody ever heard of before, and they got, they're going to run fast and jump high and lose a lot. But I like that coach's name, though. Roddy. WQAM, hello.
Neil.
Yes.
There must be something really wrong with this Brady Quinn guy for him to drop so.
Yeah. Too pretty.
Didn't you look him over good enough?
Yeah, I looked him over.
And did you find anything wrong with him?
I didn't find a pimple on his ass, I'll tell you that right now. I didn't find anything out of joint. But then again, I might be looking for different things than they're looking for, that's the problem. That's the only reason you like him, Neil, is because he's a pretty boy. He can't play. That's right, he couldn't play. I watched so many of those Notre Dame games, man. And believe you me, the pain in my brain from even just watching Notre Dame. And don't confuse the idea that I was ever rooting for Notre Dame. No way, Jose. But then again, as George always says, what do I know about it? It's like radio. It's like talk radio. What could I know about that? I know nothing, and I'm proud to tell you that I know nothing. And look at the money I'm making for knowing nothing. If I knew something, then maybe I'd be in big trouble. WQAM, hello.
Uncle Neil.
Yes, sir.
How the hell are you on this beautiful day? Listen,
yeah.
How'd you do Saturday at Columbine? You lost your
at Columbine. At Columbine.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's pretty funny, Columbine. Yeah. WQAM, hello. Can you spell M-O-R-O-N, as Mo used to say? He put the Mo in moron. WQAM, hello. WQAM, hola.
Thank you.
For what?
Is George in?
No, George ain't on today. Neil's on today. Do you want to speak to Neil?
I'd like to talk to Neil. I'd love to.
Yeah, you're talking to him.
Neil,
yeah.
My name is Walter. I just wanted to check in with you. I don't want to be redundant. Did anybody call you about the Fox Morning Show with Brady Quinn on it?
No.
Okay. It was on over the weekend. It was either Friday or Saturday. Brady Quinn was a guest, and they have the three people that do the morning show.
Yeah.
And the dark-haired guy goes out into the street with Brady Quinn, goes down the block about a half a block down and jumps into a truck, one of these open trucks in the back.
Yeah.
And Brady Quinn throws him a touchdown pass about 45 or 50 yards right over the barrier into the truck.
Yeah.
But the Dolphins never saw that.
Gee, if maybe the Dolphins don't watch Fox News, maybe I'm starting to like the Dolphins a little bit better. Oh! All right. Well, I got news for you. If you could put some trucks out on the field, then maybe you ought to sign Brady up. Put a few trucks out there. Have him throw over a few roadblocks, like we do here on QAM. Put a few roadblocks in their way.
Mm-hmm.
It defies description. It's so stupid. So the fact that now we got the Dolphin games, I guarantee you, I bet you your life on it, that if we hadn't got the Dolphin games back, you'd be hearing a different tune from some of our sports mavens on this radio station.
Yeah,
today and for days and weeks and months to come.
Yeah.
Boy, they really suck.
Yeah, they're
and
stupid.
Who cares?
But
And
not now.
the Dolphin.
Not now, man. Now we are on our hands and knees, and we are round the clock. We are moist with Dolphin mania. WQAM, hello.
Why don't you practice what you preached one time? You even said yourself it's not a sports show.
Yeah.
What
kind of a voice is that, by the way? Is that a voice?
Yeah. WQAM, hello.
Good morning, Uncle Neil.
Yes, sir.
I just wanted to let you know a little piece of trivia about Rod Roddy, that he was once a disc jockey, and he was on the air on
WKBW in Buffalo. Yeah, I know
Buffalo.
that.
Okay,
I know
see you,
that.
Neil.
Yeah. Nobody cares. WQAM, hello.
Yeah, I wanted to know.
I bet you did. WQAM, hello.
Morning, Neil. I'm sorry you lost so much money at Woodbine.
Yeah.
Would you have been in a better mood this morning if you had done better?
What does that mean? I'm in a great mood. I'm in a great mood. What are you talking about?
You had a good weekend?
I had a wonderful weekend. Well, were you writing a book?
No, just...
What do you got to say, sir? Don't worry about if I'm in a good mood, a bad mood, I lost, I won. What do you got to say, sir? Say something.
Okay, what does the expression Uncle Tom mean? Since they buried Jim Crow, what is Uncle Tom...
Look in the mirror, you'll understand. WQAM, hello.
It's funny, Neil, how stick and puck rhyme with...
Schmuck. WQAM, hello.
Neil, very long-time listener.
Okay.
I heard Paul Harvey Jr. call on Friday. That was great.
No, it wasn't.
Yes, it was. He should call more
well,
often.
you must let me easy to please, I'll tell you that. Yeah.
It was, and maybe Rich Pachter can call.
I hope not. What do you got? You're just like the other guy. What have you got? Forget about all these other people. What have you got?
I can't think of any material.
Oh, I got plenty of nothing. Da-da-da. However that goes.
Wow.
It sure was great hearing so-and-so call and actually say something. Well, what do you got to say? Nothing, just that I sure wanted to hear somebody else say something because I ain't got nothing to say.
Just pathetic, man. And that business about I'm in a great mood. I couldn't be in a better mood if I opened the door and there were like $2 million in small bills cash sitting outside my doorstep. Maybe there might be. You never know. 1,054 votes on the poll. They just don't care, I guess. That's the Neil Rogers crowd. That's why Mad Dog was treated. He was responded with by silence when he made it. It's kind of a cute line. But don't be bringing my name up in the sports venue thing there because they're like, oh, that's that faggot there. He's the anti-sports guy, and he sure don't like the Dolphins. And you know something? If they had Tom Brady and Brady Quinn and all a bunch of and my buddy Viraj from a MySpace, if they had all these people on there, I still wouldn't like them. How do you like that? I'd like the guys, but I wouldn't like the team. And I'd hope they go 0-16. Rhymes with team. 1,059 votes. How pissed off are you? The Dolphins passed on Brady Quinn. They passed on Brady, baby. Don't care, 385, over 36%. Don't care. Not surprised they suck, 307. I'm happy he blows, 120. I agree with their choice, 119. Psychotic, 75. And ready to blow my brains out, 53. Wouldn't that be great? WSB in Atlanta, 750 on the dial. They could call it Psychotic 75.
Mm-hmm.
They got a bunch of Nazis on there, like that Neil Borscht guy. And I don't know, they still talk on that station or what?
Borscht?
Neil Borscht, yeah. 20 before. What do you know about Borscht?
No, it's beet soup.
And grain. Horseradish. You ever have horseradish?
Sure.
Well, they put that on gefilte fish. There we go. Let's do some Jew talk today.
And on
no
clams.
Sports talk. Let's do Jew talk. We got the right crowd. We got Goldberg and Kaplan and what's his name? Who's the other Jew on there? Oh, that's me.
Yeah.
Who are the other Jews we got? Oh, we used to have one. And Robert Grieper. Don't tell me Robert Grieper's Jewish.
Of course he is.
I know he is. Well, nobody's perfect, okay? Everybody's got, their axe to bear.
Well, congratulations. Get a life.
Stuff's cold, huh? Stuffy nose? Had a headache. Well, you can take one Aleve Cold and Sinus and feel great all day, or 4 of these others because they can wear off every few hours.
Oh, God, it's coming out my nose. Oh, God, look at the size of my nose.
Asthma, chronic bronchitis.
We got our sinuses filled at the start of springtime.
I found a moon rock in my nose.
Although we'd rather be pollen-free, we keep a Kleenex by our side. Was it Allerest or Claritin that my doctor had prescribed? Though you try not to sneeze and wheeze, though you try, it's allergy time, I guess. Every nose has been blown.
I look forward to picking my nose.
Just like every beer has its foam.
In fact, you look downright miserable.
Seems like most girls and boys suffer all season long. Every nose has been blown.
You apparently aren't shy about digging around in your nose.
Your body is composed entirely of snot.
He has a honker, but I like it. I think it's sexy.
Claritin D relieves even my worst allergy symptoms. My congestion, my sneezing, and my sinus pressure.
Pig snot.
So gross. It's gross. Help me. It's gross.
I know the beauty of spring with flowers blooming, but even so,
My body is composed entirely of snot.
don't seem fair to pop those pills and have to take a dose. And you live on antihistamines in order to survive. Ain't it funny how a little thing like pollen can affect our lives? It's like every nose has been blown.
Excuse me, may I blow my nose?
Just like every beer has its phone.
How big is your nose?
Seems like most girls and boys suffer all season long. Every nose has been blown.
Allergy congestion won't ruin my life again.
Gross!
11:47:13. And, I caught myself picking my nose in the middle of that. I sat here and I realized my finger is deep in my nostril. I'm thinking, geez, and I pulled it out real quick.
Power of suggestion.
What?
Huh?
Power of suggestion's right. 1077. It's a good thing it was only about my nose and not and someplace else. Anyway, that guy that called a minute ago, oh, would you be in a better mood today? I'm in a great mood, okay? I'm in a fabulous mood. Life is great. Everything is coming up roses. Everything smells real good, like lilacs. I'm going to go to Rochester this summer, you think? No.
No.
Do you know, remember they had that, I told you about that ferry?
You ferry.
From Toronto to Rochester across Lake Ontario? I think that thing ran about a half a dozen times, then they Schmidt-canned it. You want to know why?
Why?
Well, where are there more people, in Toronto or in Rochester?
Gee, Toronto?
Yeah, and so obviously for that thing to succeed, there'd have to be a whole lot of people going from here to there, right? Well, nobody wants to go to Rochester.
Lots of people on the way back from going to Toronto.
Evidently, nobody wants to go to Rochester, including me. If they still had Don and Bob's, I'd go. No mo. Boy, you haven't lived till you had Don and Bob's. Oh boy. Right next to my elementary school. I think as a child I was destined to be fat. You know, if you have fat genes when you're a kid, you better watch it, mister, because you're going to wind up fat. Let me see how much I can... Oh, geez, I'm fat. So did I tell you about that ice cream?
Yeah.
Oh, stop. Stop already. Now, this John Burstein article, Gulfstream Park slots hit by slump. See, this, you know what it's like? It's like how, they always talk about location, all this other stuff. And how there are some, places in strip shopping malls where they go out of business over and over again. It's just a bad location. Remember Ponytail? I tried to warn him about that place in Plantation, bad location, and on this station, but he wouldn't listen to me. Not there no mo. He bailed out of it, and then I guess the other guy bailed out. It's not even there no mo. Right behind Walgreens? Mm-hmm. For why? I really don't know what that is. Of course, that particular location, you can't see it from the street because it's hidden by Walgreens, and it's just... you don't know what's there. And Gulfstream, like most of the other pari-mutuels, but probably the worst offender. Gulfstream, the median age was death plus 40, okay? I mean, for years and years. You heard Hank screaming and carrying on about that. That's just before he does the spot for them, But that's okay. At least he's being honest about that. That's good, Humper. You go, man. By the way, talk about fat. You know something? I'm always taking your word for it. This weekend, I'm going to get to see him because he'll be on the... Or wait a minute. Does ABC, I don't think they have the Derby, do they?
I don't know.
Doesn't NBC have it now? I really can't keep track. I think NBC's got it, and that awful Tom Hammond will be on there with the white hair. Oh, jeez. But anyway, I better start doing my homework for the Derby. But I was going to say he'll be on there ESPN, won't he? Chris, he'll be on ESPN for the Derby coverage?
Most definitely.
In fact, let me take a puke here and look. Oh, yeah, see that? Thursday, Geldy at the Dolphins award banquet. Oh, my God. And then, Friday, Eddie K. from Vegas, although it says Power Hour with Hank and Mad Dog. I don't understand that. This whole schedule, I think Clarence was on acid when he was making this up. But I'll see him on there somewhere, and I want to see if my Samsung 46-inch will hold the Humper on the screen. If it does, then I'll feel a little bit better. Because he's diabetic. He put the die in diabetic, you know what I mean? And you're not doing very much to help save him. I know you gave up on that a long time ago.
Yeah, and you know
with me you gave
better.
Up. You expect to be in my will and you won't even try to prevent me from eating the ice cream?
Listen, I told you I'd hire the goon. Of course, you got to pay for it. Well, I don't have goon money.
Don't you?
No.
What makes you think I got goon money? Especially after Woodbine.
Oh,
see, I don't think I'm even going to mention, although we do get off Wednesday early at 12:30, it'd be an early Woodbine Wednesday. All right. I have a good time there. So I lost, see, in the beginning, I've been going through almost 3 years now.
Mm-hmm.
And in the beginning, like this guy said before, oh, you'd be in a better mood. Yeah, I used to get really pissed off. I'm never going there again, that place they're robbing. But if you got the money and it's not going to change your lifestyle, you're not gambling away any money that you really need, what difference does it make? Right?
Right.
Now, the money that I lost on Saturday, I'm sure that you would have been much happier if I would have just put it in an envelope and sent it to you. What?
Yeah. But whatever.
But I went there with the idea that I was going to win, or at least break even.
Of course.
There you go. I didn't go there with the idea that, I'm going to lose a couple grand today, and therefore I should mail a couple grand to George so he can feed his family.
Listen, whatever it takes for me to get that most precious gift that you give me every day.
Yeah, every weekday morning. Every weekday morning,
right.
He comes in there, and there I am.
That's
here.
it.
And he thinks, he's still alive. Now, let me ask you this question. I'll get to this article eventually, but we got 2 more hours. That's an interesting thought. Now, knock on wood, I'm in pretty good health. I feel great. I really do. I feel excellent. Couldn't have been all that screwing around I did this weekend. That might have something to do with it. But anyway, well, that helps. Doesn't it?
Sure.
Helps put a bright smile on your face.
That's right.
Right. And the fact that the sun is shining, and it's a beautiful day, man. It's going to be like 60. They said 63. I think it's going to, panda porn. They're showing the pandas doing it. I don't want to see that on CNN. It's 54. It's going to be 63. I think we're going to top that. I think we're going to go 65 to 70 today. I just have that feeling because it's just a beautiful day. So, but what's going to happen the day that you come in there in the morning and it's the Simon and Garfunkel day, the Sounds of Silence?
Well, I'll call someone, like your concierge or something like that.
You have that number?
No. Should probably give that to me.
Oh, I don't have it. Yeah, I got it somewhere.
Yeah.
Nice people,
tomorrow.
by the way. The concierges is in my building. A really good guy.
And I'll have someone go knock on your door.
You can pick it upon with them, too, because they're like Latinos.
Well, I'll try English. And if that doesn't work, then I'll go for Spanish. Yeah.
That'll work, too. One thing about Toronto, baby, everybody speaks English. Even if it isn't all that great, they at least do their best to do their duty. Nobody approaches you here in some kind of like Swahili or some foreign language, you know what I mean?
Increíble.
All speak it English. Unlike Montreal, of course, where they got that frog crap going. Oh, boy. I do like that casino there in Montreal. I just don't like the people. And the food. Oh, man, they got good food in that place. They got a great buffet up on top. It's like 5 stories, Montreal. And then, of course, there's always Fallsview in Niagara Falls. I think maybe next weekend. Not this weekend, but the following one, maybe I'm going to take a little venture down to Niagara Falls. And even though I'll lose my ass there, too, you know what? I'll have a great time. And they comp the room, and they comp the meals, and boy, you talk about good food. And good clientele. Oh, man. What a difference in the clientele between Woodbine and Niagara Falls. Of course, Niagara Falls, you know, is like a honeymoon place.
Yes. I know that.
So what's going to happen that day that I croak? Will you tell me about it?
I will. I'll tell you all about it after.
I don't think that's going to be. I think this is my goal. I have several goals in life. One of which I'm working on now.
Yeah.
And that is to live long enough so that my contract ends. You know, I keep extending.
Right.
I just like to live long enough so I have it like at least one day of retirement.
Maybe that's what your lifespan will be based on. You know, as soon as you don't have a contract anymore, you'll croak the next day.
That's one of the reasons I keep doing it is because everybody tells me, you don't want to retire because if you retire too young, under the age of 100, you're going to croak, you'll wither up and die, and, you know,
I've heard that. I've heard that from people.
Everybody says that.
When you have no more reason.
No more reason to live. I have lots of reasons
I imagine you do, yeah. I know that.
Now, what are you talking about?
Huh? Something.
You are such a bastard, man.
Yeah,
you're brutal. You are. Yeah. I think Dave had a point.
I know.
About you. We got 1,094 votes. Chris is pretty excited about that, and he doesn't even know what the hell we're talking about. Well, you'll tell him. Behind my back. 1,095. We got 1,100 licked. What do you think? We got 2 hours to go. Should we go for 13? And you know something?
Why not?
And let me just tell you this. Brady Quinn would have looked real pretty in that Dolphin uniform.
This is Brady Quinn. Whenever I shave my balls, I listen to the Neil Rogers 12 to 1 hour.
Your vote's automatically calculated by computers at the GOP. ensure look good and cold thirst numbs my loins with bottle beer. The Jews killed Christ. The Jews killed Christ. Bush is appointed by God.
Neil, God.
Back, rocket red, sea crack, then you're darker than brown, then your rope will get thrown out. Brown back, except for hard folks, screaming closet bags. Well, it won't matter who or what you vote, like it's rigged for Bush too. Winning a landslide this time, don't let the fascist neocons screw us again.
So let me ask you, Neil, would you feel better today? Would you be in a better mood if you won at Columbine on Saturday?
Oh, brother. It's 12:03 at 560. Speaking of Gulfstream and old farts, Gulfstream Park Racing Casino debuted with a big opening day. Its Las Vegas-style slot machines generating $334 grand in revenue. That was November 15. 5 months later, it's a different story, writes John Burstein in the Scum Sentinel. The Hallandale Beach Racetrack Casino had its worst day, April 16. Its daily total revenue falling to its lowest, $56,924. My God, I could lose that much in one day if I was a crazy person. For the first 3 weeks of April, the track averaged $131,800 in daily total revenue. Each machine generated about $108 a day, well below the $250 average for slots along the East Coast. $108 a day for a machine?
What?
Our expectations were pretty high, and from that standpoint, I don't think we met expectations, but I also think it's a brand-new market, said Bill Murphy, Gulfstream Park president. Hey, Bill, get with it, baby, okay? Get with the program. What I started to say before you so rudely interrupted me about croaking on the air or something?
Yeah.
Was that people are creatures of habit. And when your clientele for 20, 30 years at least has been, death plus 100, you're not going to get too many living and breathing people there, even if you do bring back Gary Puckett and the Union Gap. Gambling industry analysts have called the casino's performance disappointing, wondering about its ability to compete in the crowded Broward slots market. Of course, you'd have them in Dade, too, except for your fat-ass former governor, who went on the Spanish-language radio stations before that election. Oh, gambling, malo, blah, 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 whatever the hell he was screaming and yelling. And all of your people who love gambling, by the way, as you well know, they just goose-stepped right into the line. Oh, sure, whatever. Si, senor, you fat-ass idiot. And how's Terry Schiavo doing, by the way? How's her...
Cube.
Gulfstream Park, the county's first racetrack casino, is fighting to stake a claim against 3 established Seminole travel casinos and 2 other new casinos, Mardi Gras Racetrack and Gaming Center and the Isle Casino Racing at Pompano Park. A 7th casino, Dania Highlight, is scheduled to open late next year. That means potentially 10,000 slot machines ringing within the county around tribal land. There's a lot of options for the entertainment dollar in South Florida, Murphy said. Half of every slots dollar from racetrack casinos go to Florida's education system. The major selling point for the statewide referendum that allowed Broward's pari-mutuels to get the machines, which old Grandma Neal helped to get passed, and gets a slap in the ass for it. Oh, by the way, I got an email from Duff. He'll be in the morning.
Okay.
Well, I'm just telling you that. He got signed up the melting pot again.
All right.
Aren't you thrilled with that? That
yes.
means more free food for you guys.
Absolutely.
More dipping and dunking.
You know it.
The legislature's Office of Economic and Demographic Research has projected if each site had a maximum 1,500 machines, they would bring in $286.5 million for education by the 2009-2010 school year, an average of $71.5 million per gambling site. That's based on each slot machine generating daily revenue, $262. I can take care of that in an hour, half an hour. $262, my ass. Gulfstream Park generated about $12.4 million for schools in its first 5 months, according to state figures. The weekly contribution to education has dropped from $713,600 the opening week to $402,200 for the week of April 16 to 22. See, there's one thing this article doesn't want to take into account about South Florida, okay? And you know what that is?
What?
That it's still a horse and buggy seasonal place. Now, what happened before April 16? Easter and Pesach. Am I right about that?
Mm-hmm. Nothing.
And what happens in South Florida after Easter and Passover? Everybody goes, you know what happens?
Nothing. A whole lot of nothing.
Everybody goes,
bye, bye, bye.
They bail out. When in doubt, they bail out. The town becomes like a ghost town. Am I right or am I wrong?
You're right.
I'm absolutely correct, sir.
Absolutely correct, sir.
This happened despite the track adding 705 machines last month, upping its number of slots to 1221. Mardi Gras, which opened at 11:47 in late December, about a month after Gulfstream Park, has brought in about $16.3 million for schools. Gulfstream officials concede there were missteps, but say they'll soon see an increase in revenue. Among the factors that track officials, industry analysts point to affecting the casino, Gulfstream didn't start a major ad campaign for slots until this month. A law banning ATM machines and check cashing at track has hamstrung slots players and horse bettors. It's so stupid it makes me want to sit here and scream. I want to just get up and just do the Green Apple Quick Step all over my carpet here. The Seminole Hard Rock Casino and Hotel remains the dominant force in South Florida's gambling market, and Gulfstream Park will soon face another obstacle. Part of its parking lot will become a construction zone. Construction is set to begin next month on the first phase of the village of Gulfstream Park, a 60-acre complex of stores, condos, hotel, and movie theater. That means Gulfstream Park will have to start offering a shuttle service for customers from the parking lot to the casino. At least maybe by then they might have an ATM. No ATM? I mean, what is that? A casino with no ATM? Did you ever hear such a thing?
No, never.
I mean, you go to the supermarket, they have a freaking ATM, so you get more cash and you buy more crap.
The convenience store, the bubblegum machine, everything. They're everywhere.
Even the little Chinese market I go across the street with a lady who barely speaks English and she just loves me. Even they got a little ATM in there. The thoroughbred horse track Gulfstream fears that people might think the casino is shut down with the end of the racing season April 22, said Eric Lemoran, Gulfstream's vice president of gaming. It's not going to help with all that construction going on. He said people are going to drive by and think it's probably closed for construction. And you know as well as I do that perpetually, every year when I was there for the 400 years I was in South Florida, every year just before they'd open a racing season at Gulfstream, they'd start doing construction on US 1 right there in front of the track. Am I right? I'm absolutely correct. Tear up the federal highway. Oh, God. Like I said, there's the right way and then there's the Florida way. And as far as what kind of mood I'm in, guess what? I'm in a great mood, and you want to know why?
Why?
Because I'm not there.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah. I only come there for special occasions, as you know. Mm-hmm. Despite being the first to open with Vegas-style slots, Gulfstream Park officials acknowledge the track didn't capitalize with a strong promotional campaign. A different management team at Gulfstream Park, headed by then-President Paul McCucci, assumed that once the slots room opened, people would simply show up, Lemoran said. Coochie, yeah, right. Yeah, open it and they will come. Just by osmosis. It's like QAM, you know. We got a new whatever show, you know. Everybody will just come flocking to 560, won't they?
Huh?
Magna Entertainment Corp., Gulfstream Park's parent company, announced in January that Murphy was replacing McCucci, who's going to head various gaming initiatives for Magna. Magna Entertainment's corporate official said last week that McCucci's no longer with the company and couldn't be reached for comment. Remember Bugsy Siegel? Remember what happened to him? What we've had to do is pick up the ball and run with it, try to make the best of a bad situation, Lemoran said. We basically have regrouped and started a whole entirely new marketing initiative to include all the things we should have done in the first place, such as direct mail, giveaways, promotions, different radio and TV advertising. Gulfstream Park has found that about 50% of slots players at track have been to the casino once and never returned. He blames that on the lack of promotions and the legal ban of ATMs and check cashing at the three pari-mutuels with slots. No check cashing, no ATM, just bring a barrel full of money, I guess. Once gamblers run out of money at Gulfstream Park, they have to take a shuttle to a nearby bank's ATM or they leave. In this day and age, people don't carry the kind of money they used to carry 20 years ago because of the convenience of an ATM or in the racing world, check cashing, he said. I'm sure we're the only major racetrack in the U.S. that doesn't have an ATM machine or couldn't cash you a check. What kind of a bunch of communist crap is that, you silly old farts in South Florida, huh? It's the typical Florida way. Make sure it fails, okay? Your fat-ass Jeb. Oh, the wildly popular Jeb Bush, your fat-ass governor, with his dysfunctional family and his Terry obsession. WQAM, hello.
Hey, Neil.
Yes, sir.
Where were you reading that article from about Gulfstream?
Sun Sentinel.
Sun Sentinel? Okay,
yes,
and how many charities do you give Woodbine?
I don't know, 1 to 5.
Okay, and one more thing.
Well, you know the answer that I said on a scale of 1 to 5, and you didn't even want to listen to the answer.
Of course you said 5.
I said 1 to 5.
Oh.
Meaning I'm asking you mean on that scale?
Yes.
Minus 10.
Okay, listen, Neil, I got one sentence to wrap up this weekend in sports for Miami.
Yeah. Yes.
Aren't we cursed down here?
All right.
Yeah, to which I would say, yes, I think absolutely is what's...
absolutely.
No, actually, Woodbine's a beautiful facility, and it's they got 1,700 slots, and the food sucks, but, you know, you can go up the escalator to the racing level, and you can get, the usual stuff you get at the track, you know, pizza, and they have a little cafeteria there, and you got your macaroni and cheese and meatloaf and crap. No, it's a beautiful facility. It's just, it depends on how do you rate it for what it looks like and how much money it's raising. Believe me, if anybody's making a lot of money, that's where they're making it, and plenty of it is mine.
A stench of cow manure hovers over this performance by the Dolphins.
When driving, I gotta fill my SUV time and time again. I heard oil supplies they will deplete when it's another war we have to face. Now there's a hunger in the Ford Escape, and no cheap fuel for heaven's sake. Come on, it's no fair what we gotta pay. Come on, is that fair? Go ask AAA, can they get any higher? Prices at the pumps you see, can they get any higher? You're gonna drive me to bankruptcy.
Thank you, Mr. President, for those low gas prices and that strong American dollar. That's worth about 2 cents everywhere else in the world. Nobody wants to even touch that baby, and the dollar either. Which, in your case, doesn't make too much difference, but, because you do all your business in dollars.
Right.
Buy, like $5 to buy half a loaf of bread and maybe a cup of tea. 11:38 on the poll. What do you think, Chris? We're going to make 13 or what? 13
yeah, we'll
make bean?
We got it.
Well, what do you mean we got it?
They'll come
We got
through.
11:38. We're going to go for 13. We only got an hour and 41 minutes to go. Not that I'm counting, of course. Don't forget, Wednesday we got the Marlins game at 12:30 pregame. Marlins at the Mets.
Sweet.
Oh, you know something? We better look up. They still play in Shea Stadium? Wouldn't that be sad? I guess they do, huh?
Yes, they do.
Oh, no. One moment, please. Oh, I had Trent Green on here. Do you know he's almost 37 years old? He'll be 37 before football season starts.
Who?
Trent Green, the aging quarterback of Kansas City, whom the Dolphins allegedly are trying to get to be their stopgap quarterback, because they don't want to have like a permanent quarterback for the future. They want to keep getting these old, washed over, At least he once was pretty good. At least he once looked pretty damn good, I'll tell you that. Okay, New York weather. I just want to make sure it's not going to rain Wednesday. In New York.
Okay.
Wednesday, sunny and 18. That's 64, 65, sunny. Not a cloud in the sky. Going to be beautiful for that Marlin Mets game. 12:30 pregame on Wednesday. And then I'm pretty sure it's the following week. Don't we have an 11:30 exit, I think, a week from Thursday? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Here's a fax that says, not that we want to screw off and, avoid entertaining you people 4 solid hours every day.
Rock solid.
But if we can get away with it, why the hell not? Wouldn't you agree? Who's that on line 12? Hello, bat line.
Hi, Neil?
Yes, sir.
Dick Feinberg.
I knew it was Dick Feinberg because I could tell by that squeaky voice. How you doing, Dick?
I'm good. You got me pretty hungry talking about Don and Bob.
Oh, boy.
I need
Here's
a ground
the one
round.
Let's talk about Batavia Downs and Buffalo Raceway. Not.
And also...
How about David Vance in your pants? Yes, go ahead.
Please. But,
what do you mean, oh, please?
I like Dave. I bought a horse from Dave Vance once.
Well, let's not talk about it on the air, Dick. Did you call to sabotage my show or what?
No, you've been talking about everything I'm interested in today.
Yeah, I know.
But I also wanted to mention that I'm not related to Joel Feinberg. You did a lot of Feinberg.
Oh, do you think I would talk to you if I thought you were?
And to thank you for your mention of Max Robinson, one of my personal favorites.
Can I tell you a little story about that?
Sure.
Stan Barron. Now, do you remember Stan Barron?
Freeform Sports.
Yeah, he was a sports guy from Buffalo, and he did this show called Racing from Buffalo Raceway and Racing from Batavia Downs, depending where they were racing at that time.
Sure.
And I worked at WBT in Batavia, and I was doing my show at night, and we carried that show from 10:30 to 10:45, 15-minute show.
I listened to it whenever I wasn't at the track.
And so anyway, I used to run a board, and then when Stan went on vacation a couple of times, he had me fill in for him and do the show. Well, the first night that I'm up there at the track, and you're sitting there kind of like, kind of like in the open, and the acoustics are different from being like in a real studio. And so I'm talking, well, listen, in the second round, I'm talking like 5 times as loud as I need to be, and I have no idea why I was doing it. And Max Robinson, the track announcer, was in the booth right next to me, and he gave me a look, like just a piercing look that would kill. And I thought to myself, maybe I better tone it down a little bit, and I did. And sure enough, when the show was over, he said, "That's more like it," or something like that, and whatever, you know. He was a good guy.
He was a good guy. Whenever I lose my keys or glasses around the house, and I eventually find them, I'll just stop and go, and here they are.
Oh, wow!
I love that call.
At least you're not doing Roger Houston anyway.
Oh, please! But and I also I found out a lot last week. Also that you went to Camp Eagle Cove.
Is that what it was called? Bellow Snyder's summer camp. Yeah.
If you were a Jewish kid from Rochester, you either went there or to Manny Hirsch's camp, Cherokee. That was the other one.
I'll be damned. Yeah, I was 16 years old. I went to summer camp. The 1 year it was great.
Yeah, no, it was beautiful up there.
The first couple of days, I missed being at home, and the rest of the week, I never wanted to go home again.
I went to I was actually at Eagle Cove for a couple of weeks at the end of the summer on a special thing. And it was, I love Inlet and Old Forge, that whole area.
So what are you doing these days, Dick?
I'm just enjoying my retirement.
You're forced retirement. Well, that's good.
That's all right. It's not a bad thing. I was like you on Saturday. I just turned on the TV for 5 minutes and watched this Brady Quinn thing. I felt sorry for the kid. You know, I mean, they had him on TV, so what's he going to say after a while?
Yeah.
I mean, that's just. Although I can remember a worse draft decision. Were you in Buffalo at all when the Buffalo Braves started in the NBA?
No, yeah, I guess. I wasn't in Buffalo, but I was up there, yeah.
What they did, they had the first pick in the draft, and then they had the first pick in the second round. And they bypassed the greatest player in college basketball who played in their auditorium where they were going to, and sold out their auditorium for college games, Calvin Murphy. They passed him up twice, and he became an NBA All-Star.
Well, there you go.
And now they're the Los Angeles.
The Dolphins are going to rue the day they passed on Brady Quinn. Trust me when I tell you.
I mean, don't they want
even if he was ugly?
Don't they want to put butts in seats? Even even if he doesn't work out, for a couple of years he's going to sell tickets.
So let me ask you this: the Derek called, our mutual friend Derek, parimutual friend, and said that Pompano really has done it right, and the place is beautiful. And did they let you in there? I mean, have you been in there?
I went there for lunch last week. Yeah, no. I mean, I was involved in the planning of that, and they did the right thing. They integrated it with the racing. Once they open the second floor, you'll walk right out into a little grandstand where you can watch the races. And whereas, I don't want to slam Gulfstream. Gulfstream is beautiful.
Go right ahead, be my guest.
But you don't have a sense of fun or that you're with a large crowd when you go either to play the slots or go to the racing there. They've got all these different rooms, beautiful restaurants, and this and that. But there's no sense of community, like you're with a large crowd having fun. I think that's that would be my rap at Gulfstream.
Well, one of these days when I'm back down there, I'll go over to Pompano and plunge I'll make my contribution there.
No, we'll go up when they open the restaurants upstairs. You and I we'll go have dinner, one of the new ones.
On them.
On them, absolutely.
Okay. Thanks a lot, Dick.
Okay.
Take care. Bye. See ya. Del Mangi says hi from the other side. 1,155 votes. I'm not so sure about that 1,300. That's Dick Feinberg, formerly of Pompano Park. You know Dick, right?
Yes,
That's
I do.
What I've heard.
Good guy, nice guy.
Greetings, Neil, says this. Fact, since you're gambling intensive this morning. Boy, we sure gotten gambling intensive. FYI, Barney Frank was on NPR Friday talking about a bill he's introducing the Senate to legalize Internet gambling. Probably has no chance of passing, but at least he'd be trying, says the fact. Good old Barney Fag, man. He's trying to do the right thing. I don't know about that Internet gambling, That could be awful. Yeah. See, that's not for me. These people that think I've got a gambling problem. Like the guy said in Owning Mahoney, I don't have a gambling problem, I have a losing problem.
Yeah.
Philip Seymour Hoffman. But the Internet, boy, I tell you, you got to be really sick to start doing that. Really, really sick. Can you imagine how much you could plunge? I mean, there's no limit. I mean, talk about 24/7. Am I right? And how do you know who you're doing business with?
Exactly.
Haven't we had a few Internet examples, some lessons that we've learned ourselves? By the way, we have 1,351 MySpace friends. You can tell Miguel to put that in his pipe, and you can smoke it with him.
You fairy.
D-A-Y-S-U-C-K-S. Right-hand man of the Taliban, second only to Bin Laden. On the land to my house he ran, now he's hiding in my basement. And you thought it was over, they got Saddam in Iraq. Well, the joke's on you, you pathetic boo, 'cause one of them came back. Oola Boola Omar, he's a terrorist for Allah. I tried to tell a reporter, but none of them wanted to hear. He's an evil dude with a bomb or two, and no one cares he's here. Oola Boola Omar, Oola Boola Omar.
Speaking of Moolah Boola Omar, we ever get him?
No.
Or Osama Yamama?
No.
Or any of those? No. 1232 at 560 WQM. We got 1167. We need 133 votes by 2 o'clock to get to 1300. Or Chris gets a trip to Chop Chop Square in Riyadh. Won't that be fun?
No.
A government commission that probed Israel's summer war against Hezbollah guerrillas in Lebanon accused Prime Minister Ehud Olmert today of severe failure, saying that he hastily led the country into the conflict without a comprehensive plan. A close aide said Olmert would not resign despite strident calls for his resignation from coalition partners as well as opponents. A copy of the report obtained by the AP cited a severe failure in lack of judgment, responsibility, and caution. Well, that's unusual, huh? Haven't we heard that before?
Yeah, a lot.
Olmert, after receiving a copy of the panel's findings, said that failures will be remedied. The report is officially being released later today. Olmert and his defense minister, Amir Peretz, who took office with limited security experience less than 2 months before the war, already had lost much of their public support because of the conflict, launched when Hezbollah guerrillas captured 2 soldiers and killed 3 others in a cross-border raid on July 12th, relying heavily on massive airstrikes recommended by the military chief, Lieutenant General Dan Halutz. Olmert pledged to his people that Israel would crush Hezbollah and force return to the captured soldiers. Neither goal was accomplished, and Halutz has already resigned it. Cabinet Secretary Israel Maimon, what kind of a name is that? When you're the Cabinet Secretary in Israel and your name is Israel?
Coincidence?
Said the Prime Minister is not considering resignation. It is right to state as clearly as possible the report lists defugel these failures and mistakes by all the leaders, including the Prime Minister, Maimon told Israel Radio. The question is, what do we do now? Oh, yeah, just like in Iraq, what do we do now? Huh? What do we do? Where do we go? What do we say? All of these things. 567. Well, I tell you, it was really great hearing from Dick Feinberg. The only problem is, you notice how the lines were just smoking there before Dick called and started talking about harness racing in upstate New York? And now it's like, geez. I don't want you to feel bad, Dick. Glad to hear from you any time, but it's just that they all go running, just racing away, you know? Speaking of racing. 567-0560 and pound 560. I mean, there are certain things in South Florida that just, you can't settle, man. You can't peddle them, you can't give them away, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And that's one of them. Racing. Big race coming up Saturday, Kentucky Derby. Any interest?
No.
Halava, any interest?
Yes.
So all the old Jews moved to Boca, and then they died, and then what happened? Oh, speaking of that, don't forget Mad Dog at the Broken Sound at 2 in Boca. WQAM, hello.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
I want to talk to Neil, please.
Speaking, please.
Neil, are we on the air?
Sounds like us, yeah.
Okay. I wanted to know what you thought was a bigger claim to fame. Sloppy seconds to Ron Jeremy or popping...
Ron Jeremy, by the way, is now taking bit parts in grade Z porno movies. He's taking thankfully not sexual ones. He weighs about 700 pounds. He makes Al Goldstein look like Minnie Mouse at Al's fattest days. I just thought I'd mention it in passing. That's the rumor around town. 567-0560, pound 560. I tell you one thing. Not only did the phone kind of... Oh, there we got a little chunk, 1174. See, you better stop me from getting panicky. You know how I have a tendency to get panicky over nothing? That's right. Like, you know me. And now that I'm getting this age, I could have a stroke or like a massive heart attack here and croak in the chair. What would you do then?
Play a lot of music, I reckon.
You and that damn music. QAM, hello.
How you doing, Neil?
Okay, sir.
Glad you had Dick Feinberg on. It's been a while since me and him got...
Yeah, it's been a long time before we kicked your ass out of Pompano Park. WQAM, hello.
They now generate clothing protection.
WQAM, hola. Hello.
Mm-hmm.
Hello, Neil?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, as far as the entertainment dollars down here, if you look at it, you have, of course, all the sporting teams, and you have now the gambling. What is there to do?
Well, what does that mean? What is there to do? What does that mean?
What would you like to do?
What would I like to do?
We're in South Florida on
What would I like? Is that the question? What would I like to do?
No, on a Saturday, Sunday, yeah. With your entertainment, dollars, yes.
What I would like to do is Brady Quinn. 5670560. That keep me busy all day Sunday, man. And with any entertainment dollars I got, preferably for free though, would be best. 5670560 pound 560 with my entertainment dollars. Okay. Oh God, I sure as hell wouldn't go to any sporting events. I'll tell you that. Even though I get them free tickets, and you notice how readily and enthusiastically I give those babies away because I don't want to know from it. Would I go to a Marlin game again?
No.
Would I go to a Dolphin game again, even if Brady Quinn were playing?
No.
No way, Jose. See a bunch of drunks out there getting into fist fights in the stands, like making their stupid-ass comments. See, you think we just get the stupid people that are on the phone on this show. I hate to break the news to you. Those people are on the loose. They're out there. They're there. They're your neighbors. They're across the street. They're down the road. They're driving next to you on the highway right now, on I-75 and 595 and I-95. That's right. They're there.
Be afraid.
That's right. Would I go to any more Panther games?
No.
Talk about an organization that's gone south, that hasn't made the playoffs since before Wayne Gretzky was a baby. God. Old needle nose. WQAM, hello.
Holy jumping!
WQAM, hello. Josephat. QAM.
Sorry, just get the phone on. Listen, Brady Quinn. If you had Brady Quinn and Tom Brady, right?
And Pat
Who's
Quinn.
going to be next? The Brady
and Pat
Bond?
Quinn. Pat Quinn.
Who's going to be next to you? The Brady
The mighty
Bond?
Quinn, yeah. 56705. What was he babbling? 5670560 and pound 560 on the Verizon and Singular Wireless line. Yeah, the Dolphins only wish they had Tom Brady, okay? They would eat, each one of them would eat 400 pounds of elephant droppings and crawl on their hands and knees through the rest of it, 15 miles, if they could get Tom Brady. But they won't, and they didn't, yeah, that's it. That's the sad legacy, okay? And you can make all the smart comments you want and all the wisecracks you want. The fact of the matter is that they never learned their lesson. And jaws were dropping. It wasn't only a sense of disbelief in seeing them say Ted Ginn. That was bad enough. But then in watching the reaction of all the so-called mavens, the experts, they were floored. They were speechless. They were like, like that, you know? Even George was making sounds like that.
What?
Come on, I'm sure you were sitting there glued to your TV, glued to the tube, weren't you?
Tube! I don't even know when it was, what happened.
The only reason I kept
happened.
watching is because they kept showing Brady Quinn sitting there in that, with that very nasty-looking blonde girlfriend. I mean, yeah. Looks aren't everything, we all know that, but boy, she must have something that doesn't meet the eye, you know what I'm saying? Maybe he's got something that doesn't meet the eye. Maybe it isn't what we anticipate. 1,178 votes on the poll. I can't believe it. But it goes to show you, see, we're not part of the sports fraternity, and so as a result, we've attracted this audience of heathen, non-sports, you know what I'm saying? How pissed off are you that the Dolphins, and that's probably George's fault, too. Wouldn't you think so, Chris?
Definitely.
Because he's militant about it. How pissed off are you the Dolphins didn't draft Brady Quinn? Don't care, 430, 36.5% out of 1181. We need to get over 1,200 by the top of the hour, or we're going to be in big trouble for Chris's 1,300 and his trip to Riyadh, all expenses paid. Don't care, 431. Not surprised, they suck, meaning the Dolphin organization, 345. They suck. I'm happy he blows, 137. I agree with their choice, 133. They like Ted Ginn, Jr., even with his bad foot and his unhealed injury. I'm psychotic, 81, and ready to blow my brains out, 56. Isn't that our slogan here on QAM? Ready to blow my brains out, Q56. That's it. Out of 1183. WQAM, hello. QAM, hola.
Hey, Neil.
Yes, sir.
It's Brady. I heard you're looking for a good time.
I'm Brady Schwartz. WQAM, hello.
Yeah, I got a question for Neil.
Speaking.
Don't you think that Brad Pitt is better looking than Quinn Brady?
No.
What about Tom Cruise?
You Mo?
Tom Cruise.
Yeah, he's Mo, and you must be too. First of all, I don't think either one of them play football. Do you think that they play football, Brad Pitt or Tom Cruise? I don't think so. Tom Cruise played football in that one awful movie. Was that Losing It?
No,
that wasn't the one. No, it was the one before. Huh?
He played football in one movie?
Yes, he did. It wasn't Losing It. It was either the one just before that or the one after it.
Sorry.
High school football. Come on, you better. And Tom Cruise is a hunchback, by the way. And Brad Pitt's old, and he's got craters in his puss. Brad Pitt. He's got crater pits.
Sanjay is finally out. He went too far. That Malakar. Thank God, Sanjay is history. Sanjay is finally out. My ears would ring when he would sing. Now he's out of his misery. I hated when he would talk and his dumb body hopped like nails on a board of chalk. He's through. He flew, it's true. So Sanjay is finally out. Pack his bags and his do-rags. More painful than a bout of gout. Sanjay is finally out. He went too far, that Malakar. Thank God Sanjay is off the show. Sanjay is finally out. His squeaky voice gave us no choice. We had to let this doofus know. He sounds like a wounded duck, ran out of luck. The schmuck now go to work at Starbucks. He's through. He flew, it's true. So Sanjay is finally out. Pack your gel and go to hell. Sick of your girly little pals. Sanjay is finally out. He went too far, that Malakar. Thank God Sanjay is all final. Sanjay is finally out. It was a fluke, that little kook. How he survived was just plain bold. From the Pacific Northwest Ranger, then David guessed he's finally laid to rest. He's through. He flew, it's true. So Sanjay is finally out. He's talentless. This is justice. Sanjay is finally off the show.
Well, I guess that's good. I'm having a little weenie here for lunch.
Yeah.
Yeah. See all those bits that I play about Sanjay and all that other...
Yeah.
All those shows. I don't even know who any of those people are.
You're
I hope
lucky.
somebody enjoys... Huh?
Well, if not for those entertainment shows, I wouldn't either.
You mean you watch those entertainment shows?
I don't. Other people do.
Uh-oh. Not in your household.
In the house where I live, where my children play with their toys. There's an ongoing campaign to drive me nuts by putting Nancy Grace on the TV. I wish that those entertainment shows were the worst thing that I have to endure.
How come we're stuck on 1192 here, Chris? We got 11 minutes for 8 votes. We should be able to do that. Because once we get to 1200, once you get to 12, then you get to 13. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
I don't know what I'm saying. WQAM, hello.
Hey.
Yeah.
Uncle Neil.
Yeah.
You know, what never ceases to amaze me is you've got a bunch of listeners listening to your show all the time.
Mm-hmm.
They know that when they call in, you're going to pick them up cold, and they always sound surprised.
Mm-hmm.
What is it me? Am I on the air?
Because they're stupid.
Oh, my God, is this Neil?
Because they're stupid.
The stupidity of the human public never ceases to amaze me. Well, good luck, Sally. Have a great day, Kimo Daddy.
Okay, you too. See you. Let me finish my lunch. There's no calls on the board. I think Dick Feinberg sidetracked us. I think somebody paid him off. Nah, he's a great guy, he really is. He just talks about a lot of stuff that I care about, but the audience doesn't. See, he doesn't understand that. You know what I mean? He misses me so much. Then rather than call me at home, which he has maybe he doesn't have that number. I don't know. Rather than do that, he calls me on the air. We talk about all this Don and Bob's in Rochester and about Max Robinson at Buffalo Raceway and all that stuff, which is very interesting to me. But it's like a private conversation, you know what I mean? It would be like if I was talking to my bookie while I was supposed to be doing a show. What are you laughing about?
Right, or texting your girlfriend.
Protecting my girlfriend?
Texting.
Oh, texting my girlfriend. And who's that?
Your girlfriend?
No. Who is doing that?
Oh, Chris.
Chris is texting his girlfriend?
Okay, sure.
During the show, we got 1197, by the way. You actually have a girlfriend?
Huh?
What is she, like from the Helen Keller School or what?
What?
You have a girlfriend. This is news to me. How long have you been going with her?
It's news to me, too.
Okay, come on, let's spill the beans. What's the story here? Obviously, I'm being had. Who's having me?
Brady Quinn?
It could be anybody from what I hear.
Yeah, that's what you
think. A long list.
That's what you think. QAM, hello.
Neil.
Yes, sir.
Hey, how you doing? I just came back from the outer reaches of Russia.
Yeah.
And as usual, they gouged the crap out of me because my negotiating skills still stink, but they're still 10 times friendlier than anybody here. And just want to report that I'm sorry I have to return to the cesspool, but I got to make some money. But it's always great to be the hell away from this place.
Okay, well, you sound so uplifting, I'll move right on. QAM, hello. Sounded suicidal. QAM.
Hey, Neil.
Yep.
Let George have dinner with Dick.
Dear. Mm-hmm. WQAM, hello.
Can you get a message to George?
Mm-hmm. I just did. QAM, hello.
Hello.
Yeah.
Hey, do you, in the ratings, do you compete with FM as well?
Well, of course.
Oh. Well, I don't know.
Yeah, that's what I say. Oh. Right.
I don't know if you've been listening. I'm sure you haven't, but sometimes way before you come on, I listen to Paul and Ron, and I don't. They talk a lot, but I think you just have to pass it down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep. Okay, get a cell phone that works, Pally. See, he's one of those Paul and Ron people. And when you're on for 15 hours a day, I guess, doesn't make any difference whether you have a radio that works, a phone that works. 1,200 votes on the nose. All right. Oh, that's right. We're going for 13. I thought it was a momentous moment. I might actually get some Swiss cheese now, if I have any left. And it's not Kraft. You'll be very pleased to know that. It's not Kraft. WQAM, hello.
Uncle Neil.
Yes, sir.
Listen, on this Dolphin situation, my personal opinion is that Heisinger has no qualms about providing a third-rate football team product to a predominantly third-world audience. It's just like a working-class person in this state voting Republican on...
Okay. WQAM, hello.
Yes, I'd like to know if you're going to be sending Rick Shaw a retirement gift.
Yeah.
Knowing how cheap you are, you cheap, tight-wad little punk.
All right.
WQAM, hello.
Neil.
I'm going to send him my best wishes. Yes.
Hey, I just came from a doctor's office, so I've not been able to listen to you.
Yeah.
Did anybody give you the spine report on Jim? I'm going to kiss you in the mouth, Mandish.
No.
And his behavior on Saturday.
Well, what do you mean his behavior? What does that mean?
Well, as Brady Quinn kept dropping down from number 3, number 4, and all these teams kept
down the hit
by,
parade, yeah. Mm-hmm.
he put on that Notre Dame cap, talking about, I know it's hard, but I'm going to put that Notre Dame cap, and if we're going to make Neil Rogers a Dolphin fan again,
yeah,
because
sure.
he knows you like Brady Quinn,
mm-hmm.
boy, he was all lathered up. He was hyperventilating. He couldn't breathe.
I wouldn't mind lathering up Brady Quinn, but that's beside the point.
You already had a couple of queens in your time anyway, so
I got plenty of body wash, man. I got plenty of body wash. No sweat. I got bottle after bottle. Enough to cover him 100 times. Hey, Brady. But anyway. Hey, he'll like it in Cleveland, man. It's right down the road. I can be there in an hour and a half. WQAM, hello.
Luol Deng.
WQAM, hello. QAM, hello.
Yeah, Neil.
Yeah.
I just wanted to say that Amanda's got a steakhouse down in the Upper Keys. It's called Ziggy's. And when are we going to make an honest man out of George and have some immigration reform? Let me become an American citizen already, for God's sake.
When are you going to mind your own business?
Business?
Yeah, business.
This is
monkey business. That's the only business you know. Monkey business. Talking crap. Talking through your rectum hole. 12:05. I have no idea what he was talking about. Do you?
Me either.
Okay. That makes all of us. 12:56.
Hi, this is Brady Quinn. I like to shave my legs, arms, and buns while listening to the Neil Rogers 1 to 2 hour.
We singled you out 'cause you look like a freak.
Yes.
With eyes that bulge out and a nose like a bee. Don't want any viewers to go. We put you on at the end of the show. 'Cause you're dorky and you're fat.
You fairy.
You waddle in, this is your big chance. But everyone laughs at your gigantic pants. We say your voice is a total train wreck, and then we make fun of your birth defects. Laughing at you is kinda sad, 'cause you have a bad face, you're a little bit slow. Weirdos like you make this the #1 show. Randy has a blank stare, Simon says cruel things. It's more unlike you that drive ball and a drink. You have a bad face, the camera don't lie. You're on a freak show called American Idol. You have a bad face. Oi! You have a bad face.
102 at 560 WQAM. 12:18 on the pool, and I'm eating Swiss cheese.
Well, good.
You're excited? And it's not Kraft.
Medium inside. Now I am
Solani
excited.
brand. I beg your pardon?
Excellent,
Not Timu Solani.
Not that foul Kraft product.
No, it is not. Swiss cheese slices from Solani. Solani Sweet Cheese Limited, Schaumburg, Ontario. Okay.
All right, like Boog Schomburg.
And under where it says cheese slices, it says tranches de fromage.
Okay.
Tranches, slices,
All right.
de fromage.
Well, you know more French than I do.
Some of that, what?
I don't know any French.
I know about 10
I know
words.
how to call them a pig.
La plume de
Call them all
matin.
pigs.
Parlez-vous
Oui.
chimpanzee?
Comment allez-vous?
They make me stick, yeah. WQAM, hello.
Afternoon, Neil.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. I want to touch on a couple 3 points. For one, I was down in Kendall for the Bush protest. I was down there for that. But anyway, as right as I was arriving there, I was listening to QAM on the radio, and Jim Manich, he was getting so excited, he was about to wet his pants.
Yeah.
He even wore a Notre Dame baseball cap.
That's what the guy just got through saying a couple minutes before the break, right?
Well, anyway, about the Dolphins and Brady Quinn. Anyway, Kim Cameron and the Dolphins, they worked out Brady Quinn quite extensively before the draft, and they probably knew him better than any other quarterback.
Well, what do you mean they worked him out?
Well, supposedly, like they're having him.
I like to work him out.
Yeah, well, I know. But yeah, supposedly, they had him do like passing drills or whatever. Quite a bit. They probably knew him better than any other NFL team.
Yeah.
So if there was any reason, if they knew any reason not to draft Brady Quinn, they would have known it. Plus, also,
there's an old saying in life, and it applies to the Dolphins perfectly. You know what it is?
What's that?
If you can't be good, at least be consistent. 1,221 votes. I love all these people that are rationalizing. They're buying. The organization is peddling a song and a dance, and we worked them, and we did this, and we drilled them. Yeah, I bet they drilled them. I bet they'd like to drill them and work them. I'd work them.
Yeah.
It's just mind-boggling. It's just mind-blowing. And it goes to show you that, if you peddle the right BS, there are people who are going to buy it. That's all. That's all I can tell you. 12:21, I think Chris is safe from the chopping block.
I told you.
I said I think.
We'll get
Haven't you been on the show long enough not to count your chickens before they lay a big one?
Oh, of course.
Now, what was that last guy saying? Oh, about Mad Dog? Yeah, Mad Dog's going to be on it, too, to apologize for his aberrant behavior. What was it that the guy said before the break? Something about his behavior.
His what? Yeah.
Mad Dog's behavior on Saturday. Well, everybody knew it was going to be Brady Quinn. Everybody was counting 1 through 8, and they knew it was, and the Dolphins had the golden opportunity. It would be like if somebody came along, George, and had a bag full of money, $1 million in small bills, and laid it in your lap right now. You said, "Oh, I don't want this. I'd rather have a 50-cent piece."
50 cent.
50 cent. Now, what would you take, the $1 million in small bills or the 50 cent? Of course you'd take the 50 cent. WQAM, hello.
What do you think about that play, Jim?
WQAM, hello.
Right from the balance.
QAM, hello.
I haven't heard you comment on any emails from Rajay.
Rajay?
Virjay?
Who is it? OJ?
What about the Serbian alien?
Yeah, what about him? You probably want his phone number, schmuck. Yeah, lay off. I wish I knew where I'd find the Serbian stallion. I sure wouldn't be wasting my time here. 5670560 and pound 560. All you closet queens, who are you kidding?
You fairy.
Pound 560 on the Verizon Singular Wireless line. 1223, and we're pushing for 1,300 votes. I realize it's only a Monday, and I realize it's after Easter and Pesach. You do understand that after Easter and Passover, South Florida puts up a big sign that says, closed till the season, whenever the season starts. Season used to start after Thanksgiving. Now it starts maybe around Christmas, right?
Right.
Maybe. WQAM, hello.
Hello, Neil.
Yeah.
Hello, Neil.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm on speaker right now.
Yeah, you're on drugs. WQAM, hello.
Whoa, Eric Kumaro.
Yeah. The ghost of Eric Kumaro returns to the Dolphin draft scene. I love it. But they trust the organization, man. They know what they're doing. And if anybody, what is it, 5 years in a row they haven't made the playoffs, Chris?
The Dolphins or the Panthers? Or both?
The Panthers
I
haven't
think
made
the
the playoffs
Dolphins are
since
at
before Scott Mellenby was a baby. Are you crazy?
Now?
What?
I think the Dolphins are about 6 years now.
5.
Is it just 5? It's been so long.
WQAM, hello.
I'm not quite familiar with these characters.
WQAM, hello. QAM.
I said, have a nice day.
Oh, I'm back to you. WQAM, hello.
Hey, how you doing?
Okay.
Oh, I talked to Neil.
Speaking.
This isn't Neil.
Sir, let me ask you this. How much money you got in your life? How much money do you have?
Oh, I'm sorry. It is Uncle Neil. My
How about your 10 cent
mistake.
against
I
your net
apologize.
value?
Oh, God.
Yeah.
How you doing, Neil? Neil,
Good.
is this 29 years for you?
29 years of what?
29 years on the radio.
31.
Oh, my gosh. Mazel tov. Hey, I got a question for you. I don't know if I should bring it up, but you know that famous singer Stevie Wonder?
Yeah, it's going to be in bad taste. Don't bring it up. Schmuck. WQAM, hello.
Hey, Neil, how you doing?
Okay.
This is Imus. I'm applying about a job.
WQAM, hello.
Hey, Neil, not taking Quinn would be like if you had the best goalie in the league and you got rid of him. Oh, forget it. That's the
Oh, not the Panthers. Not the Panthers.
Bye-bye, Neil. Take care, buddy.
Yeah. The Panther, and you see, they can get away with it. In fact, I guess they can all get away with it because the so-called fans, there aren't any real sports fans in South Florida. I mean, maybe a handful, a small handful. Maybe when they got the calipers out, maybe that was their description for Brady Quinn, a small handful. Maybe he just didn't measure up. You think that could be it?
Could be.
Maybe when he was at that combine, they did all the measurements and even measured.
Well, you should have been doing the pinching.
Yeah, I should have pinched a little. Oh man, how sad. 1,231. That's the reason they're not saying too much. They're down in the dumps. We've done it again. We've done it again. They know. I might even sit around here and listen to what. Well, I'm just kind of curious as to what happened afterward on our air. You know what I mean? After they picked the mighty Ginn.
I'm not.
I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to Chris.
Okay.
I
Stop
mean,
texting for a second,
what were
Chris.
our people saying at that point?
About when
lamenting?
when they passed Quinn?
Yeah.
They were surprised and shocked, and then as he kept falling in the draft, they said, well, maybe there's something the rest of us don't know about him. Yeah, the something was, and if you watched it on ESPN, they made it clear that the other teams didn't need a young quarterback. They all had gotten a young quarterback. Well, that's not true, because there was about 5 other teams that passed on him until he was finally a pick that could use a quarterback.
You mean like Jacksonville, for example?
Jacksonville, Detroit.
Maybe they're anti-Semitic.
Maybe. Minnesota.
Minnesota, isn't that where Dante's Culpeppers came from?
Yeah, he came from.
Yeah, and ought to go back. WQAM, hello.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, calling Neil.
Speaking.
Neil, how are you, man?
Great, man.
Never called you before, but long time listener. Listen, I don't really give a rat's behind about who they drafted and how they spend their money.
Mm-hmm.
It's not going to change my life any. I still got to get up in the morning and go to work.
That's right. Good point. Put on your pantaloonies and shave and do the whole routine. That's right.
Well, maybe I don't wear no pantaloons.
Well, I hope so.
All right. Thank you, Neil. You have a great day.
Okay. You have a wonderful life. WQAM, hello.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
I just wanted to tell you I packed my own lunch today.
You what? What did he say? He had what?
Lunch today.
Oh, I'm real happy for you. I'm having my lunch right now. A little Swiss cheese, a little Spites. And it's made in Ontario, no less. Schaumburg, Ontario, Limited. And I'm sure that they are. WQAM, hello.
Well, Sammy Smith.
Oh. Speaking of Ron and Paul, are they still on, or are they taking about a 10-minute break?
I don't know if I had a radio. I'd let you know.
15-hour segment. That ancient Paul and old Ron was still material.
Yesterday, Sammy Smith fumbled the ball away. We knew that Bob never knew how to play. I can't believe what happened yesterday.
Oh, my God.
Yesterday, the playoffs didn't seem so far away. Thanks to Sammy, now there is no way. Oh, yesterday sucked royally. Why you drop that ball and you pay or go away? Sammy sucks. Now I love O'Brien. So yesterday.
12 minutes after 1. Maybe Brady Quinn's a little bit too clean cut for the organization. They like, kind of that gangsta attitude, that whole deal. Dolphins have had a long, long list. How about Demetrius Underwood? You think we can get him back? He was a cut above the rest. Remember Demetrius Underwood? Isn't he the guy who tried to slice his neck?
Huh?
Chris?
Yeah, he did something. I don't remember if that's what it was.
He did. Yeah, he did a little something. 1,238 votes on the poll. We got, 48 minutes, and we need 62 votes. That should be easy, although you never know.
Holy cow.
I'm telling you, Moses was the wisest man.
Ha, what are you, Meshuggah? Abraham was the wisest.
I'm telling you, Moses.
No, I say Abraham.
Moses. Gentlemen, let us rest.
Amen to that.
After a hard day arguing religious law, these thirsty scholars head for their favorite refreshments. Israel Light Beer.
It's a mitzvah.
Israel Light. Smooth as lox and cream cheese.
And it tastes great.
But last the filling.
Tastes great.
Last the filling.
Don't be a shamil. It tastes great.
Israel Light. The beer chosen by the chosen people.
118. Something just dawned on me, and you might want to mark it down and repeat it back to me in future years when I'm 100 years old.
Okay.
I'm pretty slow.
Is that what you want me to write down?
Yeah.
Okay.
I can be really slow. And you know what I'm talking about?
No.
Now, even you being the non-sports and certainly the non-hockey person that you are, you've heard me lament the fact that way, way back, it's got to be like 9 years ago, we were down there on the second floor in that makeshift make-believe studio.
Yeah.
And I had just come back from Europe, and I had read in USA Today, in the international edition, the Panthers traded for Pavel Bure, who probably one of the most exciting players ever to play the game. And I thought, man, oh man, that's exciting, and the town is going to be all whipped up. And it was like I came back, and nobody even knew who that was, much less cared,
Right, I do remember that.
And I said, that's because it's not a hockey town. No, it's not because it's not a hockey town.
It's not?
No, it's because it is what it is. In fact, can I sum up South Florida? No, seriously. One 4-letter word that we can actually say on the air?
Crap.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Crap.
That's it. And so now, if you're wondering, well, gee, everybody in the media was just psychotic over what happened on Saturday. I mean, first we give the draft this big build-up, and then Mad Dog is going through the thing with his Notre Dame outfit and his cap and all this stuff. And it's like nothing. Nothing. You know what I mean? It would be like if you had a sexual experience, but nothing happened. And it was like,
huh?
Yeah, just like that. What just happened? Nothing. So
as far as I'm
me
concerned, yeah, nothing happened.
No, I'm not talking about you. I mean, you're just a hard ass, You're just a hard ass little spick who refuses to play the American mindless game of give me the ball, give me the ball, give me the ball. Okay?
Oh no, I'll play it. I just don't want to watch other people doing it.
Yeah, the day I see you playing football, that'll be a cold day in purgatory, okay? Have you?
Yeah.
Me too in high school. I couldn't catch that damn thing. First of all, Jews don't mess with pigskin.
My hands are too small. I can't get a good grip on it,
Man, do I love a good bratwurst.
I'm sure you've never had that problem.
WQAM, hello. No.
Hey,
QAM.
Neil.
Yes, sir.
Neil, I just wanted to tell you about the Sphinx that shows up my rectum.
Him and his boyfriends they're having a party.
Rectum
is what he said, and he's in the middle. 5670560 pound 560 on the Verizon Singular wireless line. WQAM, hello.
Neil,
Yes, sir.
as a black man, that feel the draft was very, very bad. I love the Brady Quinn.
Mm-hmm. That's right,
Ted Ginn Jr.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. No kidding. With a bad accent. QAM, hello.
Miami Dolphins, Miami Dolphins, Miami Dolphins number one. Miami Dolphins, Miami Dolphins, Miami Dolphins number one.
WQAM, hello.
Hello.
QAM, yes, sir.
Hey, Neil.
Yeah.
For someone who supposedly doesn't care about sports, you're talking a lot about the Dolphins and the draft.
Yeah, well, that's because that's what's going on right now, schmuck. That's why.
No. Why are you being
Yes.
a hypocrite?
A hypocrite, huh?
Yeah.
You look up the word, okay? You don't even know what it means. You would know Hippocrates if he came and stuck his foot up your ass. Maybe you would. Maybe it wouldn't be the first time. 1,247 votes on the poll. Why are you being a hypocrite? Guess what, schmuck? I'll talk about whatever the hell I want to talk about. How do you like that? Oh, no. Oh, yes. WQAM, hello.
The Neil Elfing yourself is dead. Can you...
WQAM, hello.
Yeah, let me talk to Neil.
Speaking.
Neil,
Yeah.
I'm wearing my glasses.
WQAM, hello.
Want to play Shadow?
567. I'm going to go back to my pool. Oh, a pile. Not my pool. 1250, by the way, in the pool, Chris.
Come on,
38 minutes for 50 votes. Should be able to do that, shouldn't we?
Chris?
Yeah,
He's not. Is he eating or something now? Or
No,
what?
he's texting his girlfriend.
He's texting his girlfriend again. I think he's texting his boyfriend.
I'm not you.
But you said you didn't have a girlfriend. Who are you texting? Who are you sending evil text messages?
I'm not texting anybody, George.
The head
He's
you're
just trying
not.
to play it off.
The head you're not. Deputy Secretary of State Randall L. Tobias submitted his resignation Friday after confirming to ABC News he had been a customer of a Washington, D.C. escort service.
Oh, my gosh.
Whose owner has been charged by federal prosecutors with running a prostitution operation. Una prostituta. Tobias, 65, Director of U.S. Foreign Aid Assistance and Administrator of the U.S. Agency for International Development, had previously served as ambassador for the President's Emergency Fund for AIDS Relief. A State Department press release late Friday afternoon said he was only leaving for personal reasons. On Thursday, Tobias told ABC News he had several times called the Pamela Martin and Associates escort service to have gals come over to the condo and give me a massage. Tobias, who is married, said there had been no sex, and then recently he'd been using another service with Central Americans to provide massages. I never had any massage from any Central American, did you?
No.
Tobias's private cell number was among thousands of numbers listed in the telephone records provided to ABC News by Jean Palfrey, the woman dubbed the D.C. Madam, who is facing federal charges. An interview to be broadcast next Friday on 2020, or is that 2020? Palfrey says she intends to call Tobias and a number of other prominent D.C. clients to testify at her trial. I'm sure as heck not going to be going to federal prison for one day, let alone 4 to 8 years, because I'm shy about bringing in the deputy secretary of whatever, she told ABC News. Palfrey maintained she ran a sexual fantasy business that was legal, and that if any of the women who were working for her had sex, they did so in violation of her rules and without her knowledge. She says there are a number of other prominent Washington, D.C. men who will be on her witness list. I will bring every last one of them in if necessary, Palfrey said. As the Bush administration's so-called AIDS czar, Tobias was criticized by some for emphasizing faithfulness and abstinence over condoms to prevent the spread of AIDS. In a 2004 interview, Tobias explained his approach as A and B and C. Abstinent works, be faithful works, condoms work. They all have a role, he said, but it's not multiple choice where there's only one answer. As a top official overseeing global AIDS funding to other countries, Tobias was responsible for enforcing U.S. policy enacted during the Bush administration that requires recipients to swear they oppose prostitution and sex trafficking. Not another hypocrite. There's that word hypocrite again. How do you like that? Only in this case, it happens to be...
Absolutely.
Correct, sir. How do you like that? 12:57 on the poll. We need 43 votes in 35 minutes, man. It's going to be nip and tuck down to the wire, just like Mississippi and Alabama. Just like in that Haas race, nip and tuck. I mean, what does that mean, nip and tuck? Do you know what that means?
Not really, no.
I mean, we know what it means, but where did that come from? Kind of stupid.
We'll have to wait for another email.
What is it?
I said we'll have to wait for another email, like we got all those medieval
it's
terms.
These guys nip and suds
Oh,
and
nip and
whatever
sud,
the heck it is. And the people that call in, they're just like them, like that they're on the, the weeds, and they're high, and they're... I mean, it's terrible. For years that I've been listening to 610.
And now this.
And this here.
This here, yeah, excuse me.
Jim Mandich, I f***ed him. Oh!
Eisner?
Mr. Mouse?
What the hell are you doing to me?
What do you mean, sir?
Why am I reading in the paper you're going to put a Disney theme park in Brooklyn?
Well, sir, we're just scouting locations.
Jesus, I'm scouting CEOs. You are killing me.
But sir, look what we've done with New York City, Times Square, 42nd Street.
Hang on. Remus! Remus! Turn off the vacuum cleaner, Remus! Get that bluebird out of here!
Okay, boss.
Eisner.
But sir, look what we've done with Midtown Manhattan. 42nd Street is incredible.
You know what? Publicly, I supported that, but you took all the porn away. You're killing me. I'm going through Gaviscon like Pez.
We're just scouting areas. Calm down.
Listen to me, Butt Munch. Don't tell me to calm down. We got lucky with Lilo and Stitch, $128 million. Now, you're trying to ruin the whole network. What kind of programming are you running? Hang on a minute. Remus!
Yeah,
you got bluebird crap all over your shoulder. Clean yourself up, for heaven's sake. And turn off the vacuum cleaner.
Okay, boss.
Good God.
Sir, the network is fine.
Why couldn't you come up with American Idol? Good God, you're still running James Bond movies. They're 60 years old. Why don't you just put Steamboat Willie on and be done with it? At least then I'd make a couple of damn dollars.
Well, the movie division's fine. You mentioned Lilo and Stitch, and now we have the new M. Night Shyamalan movie coming out later this summer.
I know signs. What the hell does that mean? Stop sign, yield sign? You gotta start swinging some of these titles past me.
Please.
Remus. Remus.
Can't hear you, boss.
I know you can't hear me, Remus. You're still running the vacuum cleaner.
Yes, that's right, boss. I'm running the vacuum.
Get out of here, Remus, and take that bluebird with you.
All right.
Eisner.
Yes, sir?
I'd be very careful the next time I started my car if I were you.
What do you mean, sir?
I'm about done with you.
What?
About done.
What, sir?
I'll put Hannah Storm in your job.
But, sir,
You're terrible.
I'm sorry.
Maybe I'll put Remus in there. How'd you like to be president of Disney, Remus?
Oh, my.
What a wonderful day. Get out of here, you nutbag.
Which reminds me to ask you this very important question. What's the difference between a bluebird and a blue jay?
There is, actually.
But I don't even know what a bluebird is. I mean, I've seen blue jays in my backyard there.
They're different breeds.
Cardinals. I've seen cardinals.
Mm-hmm.
Yankees.
Right.
Dodgers.
Likewise, there are blackbirds, and then there are crows and ravens and things. Birds that are black.
1,257 votes on the poll. We need 43 in 27 minutes. This could be a little problematical, Chris.
We'll do it.
It's 1267. We need 33 votes in 27 minutes. We should be able to do that. And by the way, thanks to Bob in Cape Canaveral, who sends a fax to remind me. You know what today is? It's April 30th.
About 30, man.
Now, did you know that ahead of time? Or
No, absolutely not.
I knew it because I've been there on Queen's Day. And you know what? You don't want to be there. In Netherlands, in Holland, it's Queen's Day every April 30th. They actually have a queen. Well, they got many queens. But they've got Queen Beatrix, who's like the titular queen of the country. Can I say that?
What word did you say?
Titular. At any rate, she's the queen. And every April 30th, all these, every business is closed down, kids are out of school, and all these people come in from all over the country. They come in on the train and on the plane and all over the place. And it is so jam-packed. Anybody who ever wants to go to Amsterdam, don't go on April 30th. Make sure that's not one of the days you're going to be there. I mean, you know, if you want to be in the middle of a zillion people, that's fine, but you can't even walk. The only good part about that is you go out and you pretend, you know, like you're squirming through the crowd. You see somebody really interesting, like, oh, excuse me, and you're like, you know, get a little feel. You know what I'm saying?
What are you saying?
I'm saying if you're a pervert, you know how to do it. But it's just not a day to be there. So I want you to mark that down. When you go to Amsterdam,
all right,
make sure it's not April 30th. WQAM, hello.
Hey, Neil, I want to ask you a question. Maybe you can explain to me why I'm having immigration problem in my rectum.
Rectum?
Too much influx, baby. That's the problem. Too much influx. How are we spelling that? 5670560, pound 560 in the Verizon Singular. Well, how many was that for him today?
About 30, man.
At least. WQAM, hello. QAM.
Is it Neil?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was in New York yesterday, and I asked the guy where the 42nd Street Ferry was, and he said...
Yeah, okay, good. WQAM, hello.
Hey, Neil.
Yes.
How you doing?
Good.
Hey, I just wanted to thank the Dolphins for ruining my sex life for the next 12 to 15 years because I was going to drag my wife to every Dolphin practice so she could watch Brady Quinn and then bring her home and reap the benefits. But because of them, it's unbelievable.
Yeah, I guess you must be, too. Pretty sad commentary when you have to get your wife all worked up about somebody else, isn't it? Huh? Yeah, pretty sad. At least he's honest, though. He's a loser. 1274, and that business is about going to take her to practice. I mean, practice makes perfect. Although in your case, I think it's beyond hope. 26 more votes in 24 minutes. That's like barely more than one a minute. Chris?
Neil.
Well, he's really, what's his story today? Is he, like, choking on his
I
own
don't know.
fat
This
or
is all him. I even told him.
What am I mean, you're reading, you're reading the numbers. What am I supposed to say to every time? I keep telling you we're going to get to 1,300. You keep freaking out. You know, it's a, back and forth.
Get as excited as you do when the food shows up.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, I'm not the one that came running in here today.
Get a little bit animated like you do when the food shows up, Mr. Hogmeister. Come on. You can do it. Just relax, okay? No problem. It's only Monday. And then keep in mind Wednesday we're out of here at 12:30, okay?
That's a nice one.
Then you'll be animated. WQAM, hello.
Neil.
Yes,
Doc,
sir.
I have a question for you. I remember you used to go to Las Vegas quite a bit, and all of a sudden, basically, you just stopped.
Yeah.
Was there a specific incident that caused you to stop going there, or you just got tired of it? Because I go about 4 or 5 times a year, and I just still love it.
4 or 5 times a year?
Yeah.
For what?
Well, we go. I don't gamble in the daytime. I only gamble at night. But we go up to like Mount Charleston to go skiing, or go down to Lake Mead and go water skiing the next day.
Well, let me ask you. Do you think that I ski or I water ski? Do you think I do those things?
No, but there was other things that I would assume. Like there's let's say the shark exhibit down there. There's other things to see besides
a shark exhibit.
I mean, it's an underwater exhibit down in Mandalay Bay. I mean, there's other things besides just the gambling. There's shows, which are terrific.
Let me put it this way,
food is real good.
Let me put it this way. There's great food here. There's all the gambling I could ever handle at Woodbine or Niagara Falls, at Fallsview. I don't need to schlep all the way out there in the middle of the desert. I've been there 100 times. I enjoyed it. I like it, but that's it. Everything runs its course.
Okay, best to you.
Okay, good luck to you. What's wrong that you don't want to come to Vegas? I don't want any part of it, okay? It's way out there. It's a place that everybody should go at least once in a lifetime. Wouldn't you agree with that, both of you?
Absolutely.
I love Vegas.
You're so full of crap. You love Vegas.
I do. Been there twice, and I want to go back more often.
Well, yeah, twice, okay. I'm sure that after I was there only twice, I said, I used to say that all the time. I did go back a lot. And let me say it again. I'm not interested in the sharks swimming underwater. I'm not interested in the buffets to go and pig out, which I don't need. And, so they got 2 Ruth Chris steakhouses there. Guess what? They got a good one here, too.
You know when I really like Vegas?
What's that?
When I'm in Atlantic City.
Atlantic City blows. That's why you like Vegas.
Exactly.
But that would be like my saying, I like Vegas when I'm at Woodbine, It's the same thing, man. Same machines, man. Same game, man. Same deal. It's LYA. Lose your ass. That's what it's all about. Lose your ass. And if I want to lose my ass, I can get in the cab and 20, 25 minutes away. I'm right there at Woodbine. Beautiful racetrack with a very nice racino, man. 1,700 machines and free food and free aggravation and whatever you want. A lot of smelly people. Why do I need to go all the way to Vegas? I will say this, if you go to the MGM, which I love in Vegas, you go to the MGM, there's a living and breathing crowd in there. There's like, people under the age of 100.
Right.
You guys are always giving me this crap. All the old people play the slots. Baloney, man. Baloney, like that guy says. Baloney. Where's that red bit? Don't we have one where he says Baloney?
I think so. Or salami.
Yeah, Baloney.
What do you want to talk to? Bill. Bill? Loney. Loney? Loney. Bill Loney here. Bill Loney. No, nobody by that name.
No baloney. Okay. 1278 on the poll. We got 20 minutes, need 22 votes. We should be able to ease on into that. That should be no... In fact, let me hit that view current thing again just to get a little excitement going. What do we have? 1279. We got another vote. Aren't you thrilled or what? No.
I'm ecstatic.
I'm not.
I'm still in shock from that whole thing with the draft because the way they built that up, and then all these expert perverts come on afterward after they picked Ted the Mighty Ginn, and they're like, it was like they were pissed off because they, you guys made us look bad. We all said the wrong crap, like that. So not only did they think that the Dolphins made a bad choice, they also felt that they made them look bad, probably on purpose too. Cameron, my ass. How about Warren Cameron and Del Cameron?
Rock solid.
Neil Rogers.
It's the certifiably insane John McKay, singing his way into the hearts of voters across the country.
Bum, 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 Baran. Bum, 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 Baran. Anyway, I think Iran is a great threat. The Iranians are continuing their efforts to acquire a nuclear weapon. Anyway, bum, 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 Baran. Bum, 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 Baran.
After a restful vacation in Middle East paradise of Iraq, he packed a bag, Dad, and his cheeks to embark on a Beach Boy straitjacket tour.
Wouldn't it be nice to have mutually assured destruction so everyone can have bombs fall on their head? As your overlord, I will have no compunction to thank you for your vote by making you dead.
It's not nice to poke fun at the mentally handicapped, so let the old man wear out the war hero welcome mat.
My brain sunk down to my cheeks, where I stored nuts and many other things. There's plenty of room for my wallet, car keys, and even a wristwatch. Ain't I a crazy a-hole?
McCain's message is clear if you listen carefully to the voices inside his cheeks.
God only knows when we're getting Armageddon. They're my cigarettes. They're my cigarettes. They're my cigarettes. They're making sound like cigarettes. They're making sound with my mouth. My cigarettes. I'm making sounds with my mouth. I'm making sounds with my mouth. They're my cigarettes. They're my cigarettes.
Crazy person walking, John McCain. 147, and a bad stand-up comic. 1290 on the poll, and interestingly enough, now most mortals wouldn't notice this, but the clock that we have on our page, on our website?
Yeah.
On our private pager? It stopped. Oh, and I just refreshed, and it started up again. Oh, thank God for that, Eric. 147. I want to make sure we're right on time. I want to make sure that we're in sync. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
1291 on the poll. We need only 9 votes in 13 minutes. Even Chris knows that we can do that. Even a slacker like Chris. I guess
Have you decided to stop worrying about it now?
I'm not worried. Listen, I'm as worried about the poll result as I am about whether the Dolphins drafted Brady Quinn, okay? Because the honest to goodness truth is, even though I was shocked and amazed, I couldn't give a flying leap. How do you like that?
Okay.
On a scale of personal important things, you know what I mean? In other words, my personal priorities, the NFL draft and whom was drafted by the Dolphins or not drafted, I couldn't care less. I did enjoy looking at him sitting there for a long time, and I also enjoyed the fact that he had that very marginal-looking blonde girlfriend. Because I'm one of those perverts who believes that when you are an athlete, a super jock like Brady Quinn's been in college, and you look like he does, you can probably consort with whomever you choose.
I imagine.
Well, remember, he's been in Indiana.
I beg your pardon?
He's been in Indiana. There might not be that great, looking girls up there.
In the Midwest?
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
I've never been to Notre Dame, Indiana, so
There is no Notre Dame, Indiana. How about South Bend,
South
Indiana?
Bend, whatever, you know.
Notre
anything.
Dame, Indiana. Oh, my God. Pop had, what's his name? Look what we got.
Oh.
Oh, no. 1292. I bet you we're going to get to 1300 before we even do the last break. Let's see. 1295. See that? Plus tax.
They love me.
A top U.S. congressional Democrat has raised the Notre Dame, Indiana. Oh, brother. A top U.S. congressional Democrat has raised the possibility of George Bush's impeachment in a bid to force the president to accept a compromise that would place conditions on continued U.S. military involvement in Iraq. Representative John Murtha, who chairs the House Subcommittee on Defense and is close to House Speaker Nancy Pelosi, made the comment yesterday in response to repeated threats by the president to veto legislation that calls for withdrawal of U.S. troops from Iraq by the end of next March. There are 3 or 4 ways to influence a president, Murtha said on CBS's Face the Nation. 1 is popular opinion, the election. 3rd is impeachment. And 4th is the purse. I didn't know the president had a purse. I know the Queen has that silly little purse she carries everywhere. You know the Queen?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you know the Queen.
No, several.
Asked specifically if Democrats who now control the Congress were seriously contemplating the impeachment option, the congressman responded, "What I'm saying, there are 4 ways to influence a president, and one of them is impeachment."
Oh!
The impeachment threat is being dangled as the White House and congressional Democrats face a new showdown of Iraq policy in coming weeks. Isn't it funny they use that word dangled? Just like they were dangling the prospect of Brady Quinn being drafted by they were dangling. I wonder if Brady was dangling. I sure would have been like to have been there to see that. Anyway, 1295 on the poll. Let's take a look at the result. Shall we? Okay. Oh, look at that. A big chunk just came in, and Chris is safe again. Boy, you sure live. You're like the cat with 85 lives.
Okay.
Maybe it's not 85 lives. Maybe it's that. 1,300 even. You ready? Can you even handle that?
Sure.
You are such a putz. It's you know. How pissed off are you the Dolphins didn't draft Brady Quinn? That's our poll question today. You'd think that on the sports shows. Now, do they do polls on the QM website?
No.
Why not? That's our good buddy Josh Cordes in charge of that.
Why are you trying to give Josh more work than he already has?
But wouldn't you think if this station was going to be doing a poll about a sports issue like that, it belongs on there? Wouldn't you think that?
Well, I know the morning show would do one on their own page of the homepage or something, but as a regular one, I don't think anybody else does one but us.
I'm talking about a propitious moment like now, when all the sports nerds are whipped up into a frenzy and either relieved or pissed off or psychotic or something.
You know, I'll go tell Josh he better get one up there before our show's over.
How pissed off are you that? Yeah, I'm sure he's going to pay attention to you. I'm sure he takes orders, marching orders from you. Didn't draft Brady Quinn.
I'll tell him it's coming from you.
Tell him it's coming from me and that he hasn't cashed that check yet. I can stop payment. How come he hasn't cashed it, by the way? Sure. I hope that dog is okay.
I'm sure. Well, he's going to the doctor today, so I'm sure he's cashed it already.
Who, Josh or the dog?
Yes.
Don't care about Brady Quinn and the Dolphins. 474, 36.5%. That's our crowd. You know our crowd. Maricones with cheese. Not surprised. They suck, meaning the Dolphin organization. 374. They suck. I'm happy. He blows 155. Poor Brady. He looked so lonely and so despondent and so unloved sitting there with that pasty blonde. I agree with their choice, 147. Who the hell wants him anyhow? Fighting Irish my ass from Notre Dame, Indiana. I've actually been to South Bend. How do you like that? And you know what?
What?
You're missing nothing. Psychotic. I'm psychotic about it, 90, and ready to blow my brains out, 61. Well, don't let us stop you. Out of 1308. It's kind of great. Okay, well, it's going to be pretty interesting to hear what Mr. Mad Dog has to say after going through all that self-degradation with the Notre Dame cap and the Notre Dame... God only knows what else he was doing there. And, of course, here on the station, now that we have the Dolphin broadcast, I'm not suggesting that we're going to kiss their ass or, suck up like that. But you know what? Not on this show anyway. But I have a feeling that on the sports shows, it...
Better than your religion. My religion's better than yours. Oh! My beliefs are what's required to avoid a lake of fire. My religion's better than yours.
Absolutely.
My religion's better than your religion. Boy! My religion's better than yours. Why, my religion advocates bigotry and racial hate. My religion's better than yours.
You fairy.
My religion's better than your religion. My religion's better than yours. what we like about it best. I fondle boys and wear a dress. My religion's better than yours. My religion's better than your religion. My religion's much better than yours. We have no respect for women. Drive a cab to make a living. My religion's better than yours. My religion's better than your religion. My religion's better than yours. Chupacabra, spooky ghosts, we slaughter pigs and dogs and goats. My religion's better than yours. My religion's better than your religion. My religion's better than yours. Yeah, we wear beanies and pigtails and never ever pay retail. My religion's better than yours. My religion's better than your religion. My religion's better than yours. We knock on doors to bother you like Fuller Brush to spew our views. My religion's better than yours.
My religion's better than your religion. My religion's much better than yours. We wear ties and ride our bikes and get to marry lots of wives. My religion's better than yours.
My religion's better than your religion. My religion's better than yours. We don't want to use our brains. We're mindless lemmings on parade. My religion's better than yours. Bye, bye, bye.